Welcome, everyone. We have got another banger match of League of Legends here today. Hope everyone is having a good day. My name is Pancake Man, and I'm sitting here with the man, the myth, the legend, Drew. Drew, your first
What's going
cast. How
on,
you feeling?
guys? Hey, feeling pretty well. Just excited to see this first game go down. I do love these two teams. They seem like they're going to be good competitors against each other. So I'm just excited to be able to cast for the first time.
Yeah, and just kind of set some things up for everyone watching today. This is the Scuttle division. It's going to be round two of the winners bracket. It's going to be Silversong Mavericks versus C22 Void. Um, these teams did play not too long ago. It was back on July 29th. It was a 2-0 sweep by Mavericks. So there is some history here, but I know, Drew, you've had a chance to kind of look a little bit at champion pools, things like that. Anything you're looking forward to today that you've seen from the research?
I'm definitely looking forward to Vital, seeing that Mbessa potentially is a very strong champion right now. We have Tempo with the Hecarim and the Viego. And then as well, Sniper Mate has the Viego as well in their champ pool. Looks like their most played champ. So definitely going to be competing for that. Looking forward to bot lane as well. We do have an Ezreal player, Ash, on the Maverick side. And then on 22, we got Yasuo, what I'm seeing. Possibly could be his mid play, but definitely able to run that in the bot lane. I know Exhaust Yasuo is very strong right now. So yeah, we'll just have to see how that pans out in the draft.
Yeah, and anytime I see a Yasuo player in the mid lane, I always think, okay, here comes the mage bot, right? That's been the big
Right.
discussion around this. This split is mage bot lanes, and we don't have to wait any longer because we are actually already getting into the pick and ban here, Drew. First band's about to come through as we see the brand being taken out by Void.
Yeah, Brand's an interesting band. Definitely able to be a strong pick. But at the same time, I know there's a lot of champions that can just shut him down. Looks like they're kind of going after Kev at allergies here. His 23 games, 23 wins on Brand, 14 losses, 60% win rate. So definitely a good snipe there. And we'll just have to see. Looks like they're target banning the enemy team right now.
Yeah, first three games, or first three bans are usually just going to be banning one tricks, right? You're not going to see many variations. A lot of these matches that you're going to see the
Right.
same three bans as we see the Mbessa that we talked about earlier going away, as well as the Gwen, who was played in their first matchup in the first game, uh, played pretty well by the side of Maverick.
Yeah, looks like that's Ganon, one of Ganon's best champs. So it's definitely a good band there.
As we go through here with the way the meta is now, what are some champs, and not maybe even necessarily specific to these players, but what is really strong right now in your opinion? What champs do you like? The Vi? Do you like the Olaf? What are kind of some of your champions you're watching for as super powerful ones in this series?
Definitely a fan of the Vi. I know Vi is very strong right now in the jungle, for example. I'm a big proponent of Wukong. I think he's a very strong champion all around in the jungle as well. Top lane, I'm looking for maybe like there's a lot of champions that could be played, but I know that Aatrox can be strong. He's able to be countered, but Kaysante as well. Someone's good at him. He's definitely just a powerhouse. Olaf as well, definitely just good at destroying their lane and then running down the enemy team. Nasus buffs. Definitely, possibly looking to see an Nasus. Could be a possibility. That stack change makes him, get 700 or so stacks pre 20. So definitely very, very strong right now as well. Otherwise, in the bot lane, we could probably see a Victor, maybe a Syndra. Cassio, I know, is very strong as well. So we'll just have to see there.
Yeah, and I know we have a couple Ziggs players in this game. I don't know if we're going to see it in this series. Ziggs is always going to be a relevant champion. But the Nasus pick, that's you mentioned that one. That one's an important one because not only is it strong top, but it's also going to be strong in the jungle. You're seeing a lot of jungle play out of that
Right.
Nasus, and as Fiora is the last ban, and we're about to see the first pick from Void, locking in that Leona.
Yeah, we're looking at the engage support first pick. That's definitely not a bad pick at all. We're gonna have to see. Maybe we could have a Caitlyn with that. Definitely have a Ziggs with that as well. Ziggs is very strong with Leona. Lots of champions that we could possibly see with the Leona. She's just a good all around first pick there.
Yeah, and the reason I love the Leona is it does very well at linking up with your jungler and impacting the map,
Right.
right? Those roams. If you do end up picking something like the Ziggs, it can roam and have impact early with all the CC that you do wield. But on the Maverick side, we see the Zaya coming through. I wonder if we're going to see the Lovers duo, and the Rakan may be picked right after this.
Yeah, we can see the Rakan. Janna is actually very strong against Leona, but Janna is a little bit underwhelming at the moment, in my opinion. So let's see. Oh, it looks like it is a lovers duo. That's great. Very
Yeah,
good bot
interesting
lane.
because I don't, if I recall, isn't Leona one of the counters to Rakan? Maybe I'm blanking on that, but I think because of the point and click stun, uh, there is some weird interactions there. I I wonder, do you think we're going to see a mirror first three picks? Are we going to see an ADC picked in this first cycle?
Yeah, I do think just because the bot lane's already locked in, I think they're just going to go ahead and get that bot lane pick out of the way, and they'll just kind of leave their top jungle in mystery here. Looks like the Yasuo is going to be popped out by Void, so that's really good.
Yeah, you
Uh,
talked about it earlier. This Yasuo, um, to me, it screams, "Hey, we're gonna play a mage in the bot lane," but we'll see if Kawhi Leonard has anything that wants to jump out, or even to take it himself. You talked about that. He has I think it's something like 40-ish games on that
yeah,
champion.
40-ish
So
games, 60% win rate, highest played champ at the moment, so definitely expecting him to see it. It looks like Star Wars Boy also plays a little bit of Yasuo, but yeah, we'll have to see. It looks like the AD and mid both play Yasuo, so
yeah, with both of them playing Yasuo, they probably had to take it. It was not going to get through the second round of bans. As
right.
Mundo comes out and is going to be going either in the top lane or in the jungle. We've seen it in both, but some beefiness coming to the side of Void.
Yeah, we do have some beefiness coming from Void. I don't see any knock-up synergy here at the moment for the Yasuo. We do have a lot of engage rundown potential on Void. And then the Nass is getting picked out for Mavericks. That champion's really strong right now. I know we got a little bit nerfed in the jungle. I think they reduced his stacks from 12 to 10 on large monsters, but going from 3 to 4 in regular creeps is just so strong right now.
All right, so through the first three picks for both sides, round two of bans, we're going to see that Syndra taken away for the side of Maverick. Don't want to see that on in Void's hands. All right, so Void definitely going to be looking for some heavy AP damage, whereas Mavericks looking for the AP damage as well, but they still have their mid laner open where we don't know if that Yasuo is mid lane or bot lane. What would you like to see to round out these both of these comps for Maverick and Void?
Yeah, so Maverick, I definitely think they need some more hard CC. Just having the Nasus, he's definitely going to be kiteable. We have the Leona stun with Yasuo. He has the armor penetration on his R, so he's definitely going to be able to blow up Nasus even if he goes a lot of armor. I know Nasus usually runs Trinity Force and a few other items, but we have the Hecarim ban as well. I would like to see maybe, I don't know, a Victor would be really strong. I know he's a really strong champion right now. We definitely need some heavy AP damage. Maybe even a Vladimir would be decent. Maybe an Oriana for that engage for Rakan. That'd be very good on the side of Mavericks.
That Smolder, that actually tells me that this is a mid Yasuo. Those two bands make me think mid Yasuo here.
Right.
And that the ADC has actually been dropped, which may have fooled Mavericks because there are no ADC bans in this round. Obviously, though, they may think that Syndra could go into the bot lane as it is Smolder banned out, and now Maverick have to make the first pick here, have to blind something, whether it's mid lane or jungle. I guess that Nasus could go jungle, but I'm assuming it's going to go top.
Yeah, and I could definitely see Kawhi Leonard pulling out a Unara here on the side of Void. Waiting for the Maverick pick here. Looks like they're going to be picking Mel. Mel, a very strong champion as well. She has the execute, a lot of harass in lane, very long range Q. So it's definitely going to be a little bit harder for Yasuo, but he has that wind wall. So his all in engages are going to be very strong here.
Yeah, and so now we get two picks here. You're going to get either a counter pit in mid or bot. Void, maybe they don't even know themselves on where this Yasuo is going.
Right.
Definitely would like to see something as we're going to see the Oriana, which brings in some synergy with that Yasuo ultimate. Going to go up against that Mel in the mid lane, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it looks like the Yasuo could possibly be going bot unless they want to throw him. Yeah, he's looks like it is going to be a bot Yasuo after all. Gonna have the Mundo top lane unless he does want to play jungle, but that is not as much picked as of now. I know Mundo was a jungler for a long while, but it looks like he's mostly in the top lane now.
Yeah, and it's gonna be interesting to see what Maverick end up rounding their team out with, right? I think they do need a hard go button as the Zahen comes through. So this is gonna be well, I guess the Zahen can go jungle as well. I was gonna say Zahen's in the top lane, but let me look at champion pools because these can kind of be interchangeable, can't they?
Yeah, they can definitely be interchangeable. Zen can definitely be a jungler. Mundo could definitely be a jungler. Um, I know Mundo definitely a lot stronger in the top lane just because of how much harass he has to sustain. But he's definitely good in the jungle as well. I mean, he has his Q, good slow. Can just pop his R and do a nice rundown, especially the counter engages if he gets jumped on. We have the Wukong picked on Mavericks. That's very good engage ability. The Rakan Wukong diving in, and then we have the Nasus just kind of trying to run everybody down. I do think they have a lot of counter engage on C22 Void, so that's definitely going to be an issue for the Nasus as he's very easily kiteable. So I think this is a really good game we're jumping into right now.
Yeah, I think the best case scenario for us as the viewers is I don't think there's a significant draft diff here. I do actually expect that Mundo to go into the top lane into the hands of Perfect Vital. Does have some history on that champion. We'll just have to wait and see. As they're running out of time, we should see the lanes here shortly. But as you touched on, that Wukong, huge pick. They needed a go button, and now they got it with that Wukong ultimate. Should be a lot of fun, a lot of damage, but there's a ticking time bomb in this game, as I like to say. This Nasus, we get to 40 minutes, he's going to be a problem.
Oh yeah, Nasus. You let Nasus go to 40 minutes, he's going to be a big issue. The only way to counter Nasus is I'm going to need to see some anti heal on the side of Void during the mid game here. We're definitely going to have to see the CC used on Nasus, but if you use the CC on Nasus, you have the entire rest of the four teammates on Mavericks to be able to do something. So they're definitely going to have to pick and choose how their priority works here. Definitely excited to see what goes on as these two team comps are very strong.
Yeah, and so for the side of Void, they do have the correct lanes. Maverick was not able to get those in time, so those will be adjusted. Those are not going to be the exact lanes that you see on the stream. But it is going to be Mundo Jungle. So Mundo Jungle, they're going to wield that Zahend into the top lane, into the Nasus, which I don't mind because I feel like you're going to be able to proc your passive, get enough auto attacks to get that revive up there in that top lane against the Nasus.
Yeah, I do think that Zahan's going to be a little bit aggressive here. He's definitely have to play the wave state very well. Just because if we do push Nasus under tower and he gets a free, it's going to be a little bit detrimental for Void. I'm just letting him stack up that queue. But if we can get maybe some top priority here with the Mundo gank on in the Zahan, if we can just shut down the Nasus, it looks like a pretty good game for them. On the other side, we have Wukong. Wukong is very, very good at just finding lane opportunities, whether it be, ganking mid, Wing over the wall at Raptors as they're doing their first clear on the bot side or top side, over the side they are on. And then we do have Yasuo as well in the mid lane on Void. I mean, that champion is really good at roaming post six as well as just kind of shutting down that
Mhm.
Mel. If we see any all in engages on the Mel, it's definitely a snowbally game that we're looking at here.
Yeah, and so as we are still waiting to get into this game, I think the number one role that has to pay attention in the loading screen is going to be is the junglers, right? They're looking at, okay, which lanes do I have priority, which ones don't, where should I gank, where all these different things. If you're, we'll start with Maverick. If you're this Wukong and you look at the lane matchups, where do you want to emphasize early pressure if you're the Wukong?
Okay, so early pressure for the Wukong. I do think I could be wrong. I do think that Wukong is a little bit faster clear than Mundo. If we see a top to bot for Wukong, Yasuo and Leona are definitely gonna have to give up a little bit of CS the first three levels. I know Wukong, or I'm sorry, Yasuo bot is very proponent on just waiting till level three, then looking for an all in. And if we could see Wukong down there to counteract that, that would be massive for the bot lane. Then for Mundo, I think that possibly shutting down the Nasus, but as well as Nasus isn't very good at pushing or shouldn't be pushing, I should say. He should definitely just be focusing on stacking his Q, looking for those acidity boots as soon as possible, get as much CDR to just stack up. So I'm thinking we're going to probably see Mundo in the mid lane here potentially. Mid lane is looking like a little bit of a passive lane. Mel can definitely get that harass with her Q, but Ori's just looking to farm there and just kind of scale up. Definitely looking to see a top to bot from Wukong though.
Yeah, and I think also you mentioned a little bit about a passive mid lane. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a decent amount of mid lane roams here, right? Both Mel and Oriana can burn through the wave very quickly. And so it's going to be important for them if, you don't have kill pressure, how are they going to impact the map?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I could definitely see Mel roaming up to Zahin, especially if Zahin does a lot of aggressive play early, which we'll probably will see, just trying to deny farm from Nasus. I do think Zahin just kind of rolls over Nasus in the early game, just considering his kit. But yeah, I think we could definitely see some mid roam into top lane here. Even the first dragon, I'm kind of looking to see the Mavericks do a good first early dragon just because of their team composition. We have Zahin in the top side, Nas in the top side, so they'll be in their own little island. But then we'll have the Zaya and Rakan engage and the Mel ult, which is just massive for the side of Mavericks. But at the same time, counter engage with the Yasuo Oriana and the Leona engage. It's just looking like a very, very engage heavy comp for Void here. So we'll just have to see how that plays out.
Yep. And we won't have to wait long. We've talked about it and discussed it enough. We're going to go through the spectator delay, and then we're going to get right into it. So, everyone, make sure you stay tuned. This should be a good one. This is going to be game one versus Maverick and Void. And welcome back to game one of Silversong Mavericks versus C22 Void. Should be a good one. This is a best of three series in the second round of the Scuttle Division playoffs. Gonna go through some blue side here. First, we have Ganon in the top lane, wielding that Nasus. Sniper Maid gonna be in the jungle on Wukong, as we see a short little Scuttle in the mid lane. Star Wars taking some damage. Kev, though, is going to be wielding the Mel you just saw in the mid lane. Exile on the Zaya, and then the Rakan by Kujo.
Yeah, we got
Yeah, go ahead.
Vital on the Zaheen. We got Lost Tempo on the Mundo. Looks like he's going to be starting top side here. Both junglers starting on the top side. Definitely rough to see that Orianna take that early trade. She went down to about 200 health there. It's going to be hard for her to push up in lane here. Going to be taking those few harasses by Mel. So she's going to have priority here. Then we do have Leonard and Haprican in the bot lane. Looking like they're already getting harassed as well, giving up some waves here just because of their weak early game.
Yep. And God, it's not ending for this Orianna. Doesn't get level 2 and takes that early poke from the level 2 Mel.
Yeah, now Ori's in a tough spot right now. She does have TP if she needs to take that early base, but just being at 250 health, just got level 2 here. It's looking like it's just going to be a farm angle for her. Not going to be any deal. I don't think Mundo will be able to gank her just because of Mel's E. I know Mundo does have the CC immune ability, but at the same time, Ori being able to follow up, I mean, Mel can just throw a QE and then it's looking a little rough for her. So
massive wave stacking up there on top for the Zahens. But key piece of information, blue side did spot out the Mundo on Raptors, whereas red side has no vision on where this Wukong is. So they don't know if he's going top to bot to top. So some good little early intel there for the side of Mavericks.
yeah, it's looking like Mundo's doing his wolves into Gromp, and then he's going to get his blue last. That means his blue is going to be spawning later than Wukong's. Definitely to keep something, looking forward to keeping that in mind for later in the game. We do see that Yasuo and Leona just hit level 3, so we could see an all-in engage here relatively soon on the next wave. I'll be looking for that.
Yeah, and they got to do this all-in at some point, right? Because or else you're just going to continue to bleed in this ranged versus double melee in the bot lane. So you're going to see some aggression for sure. Which jungler can be in the right spot at the right time to either counter that or assist with it?
So see, we already have Wukong in the bot lane here getting ready for that counter engage. Looks like they might have an idea he's there. Looks like they're going to go help him with a Scuttle, but Mundo's already gotten it. So it looks like it's going to be Mundo's double Scuttle here. A little bit of tempo for the Mundo.
Drive by a cleaver or two at the Mel as well. It is going to get reflected back into his face. But you're right, it should be a double Scuttle, as he's just going to try to be annoying, but Kev has other ideas. He's going to bully him off and allow this Wukong to get division to not only contest, but to just get it outright as the Mundo decides to back.
Yeah, it looks like the Mundo's just going to go ahead and give that up, get a little bit of tempo ahead of the Wukong here. He'll have his items. It's going to take about 10 seconds for the Wukong to recall here. He might be looking for top right now.
Yeah, some advantageous trades by the level down Zahend. So even though he is a level down there, as you see the engage come back in for this Leona, not much will happen as there's just some trade back damage. As the Wukong does go tap, double flash, and condemns, as we're going to see the first blood go over to Sniper Maid on that Wukong.
Yeah, and in Nasus's eyes here, I'm just looking to freeze the wave. Looks like he is going to push it, but yeah, it looks like he's just going to push it, take that free back, might get a hit for the plate. But yeah, it's looking a little rough for Zahend now.
Yeah, down 6 CS, only able to get the one longsword on the back, so actually does also get a ruby crystal. So able to get the 750 gold worth of items. As we look at some CS numbers, it's going to be the Mundo with a decent lead in the jungle. And then, of course, we saw early that Mel getting an advantage over the Orianna. And then I think bot lane, you could call it a lead, but it's expected, right? Down about 7 CS right now.
Yeah, they're also doing better than I would imagine, especially against those two melee or those two ranged or the ranged Zaya and the Rakan with the engage. Nasus was forced to TP top. We left the wave state in a little bit of a bad area there. We do have an engage in the bot lane.
Yeah, both sides can go in. The exhaust going to be used by the side of C22 as here comes Mundo. Great W there by the Yasuo, and it's going to be a double kill for the side of boys.
Yep, and then this is where the bot lane is just going to snowball here. It looks like they're going to push that last wave in before they recall just so that it doesn't get frozen on them. Nass is going to be hitting level 6 here, going for a trade with his Zehen. Looking like he's getting a slow push as well, setting up a great wave state for himself.
Yeah, and of course that was not the W of the Yasuo, that was the Q. That is my bad. But still, great play, getting that lead, and now this becomes very scary. If you're the side of Maverick on that bot lane, Exile and Kujo are gonna have to play really, really safe. We're gonna see the boots come through for the Yasuo, and then a call, which is actually a little interesting for me. I would have expected more damage heavy early, but either way, you're now 1-0-1 on the Yasuo. You're sitting pretty.
Yeah, exactly. And it looks like Zehen's just trying to do something up top. He's just kind of dancing back and forth with the Nasus while he free farms for now. I would like to see an early dragon by the side of Void with this advantage they have. We don't have the exhaust on the Yasuo, but it looks like Maverick is going to start it here themselves. They are in Vision, so let's see if they have an answer for this.
Yeah, starting on Vision, but that Mundo is topside, so this is going to be a free dragon going over to the side of Maverick. It's going to be an Ocean Drake, but there you go. There's this. Oh, wow. Trade of flashes in the mid lane as the pressure is being kept up by Kev wielding the Mel. As Nasus actually starting to push in the Zehen, something we said the Nasus doesn't like to do, but Mundo is here. The Nasus should know that is going to back. Your team obviously got the dragon, so you're on the weak side, and he cancels the back.
Oh, yeah, we're going to see a gank here.
Yep, gank coming up the top lane. Zehen does hit that pullback. They're going to get him, Mundo cleaver in him, and he's going to get the kill, as we also see a kill on the bot side. That's 2 kills. Going over to Void as flash stun. Oh, good knockup, though, by the Rakan, but that's just too much damage. Yasuo is going to get traded back. Great play by the Rakan to at least get one there, even it up, and, wow, kills all over the place, but to kind of sum it up, Void gets the 2 for 1.
Yeah, and then we did see the Mundo take the Wukong blue, even though they did get the dragon there. So it's going to be a little bit of an XP advantage on the Wukong. He kind of walked up to his blue and said, "Where is it?" But it's interesting to see the double kill in the bot lane. It looks like they're just going to be snowballing that lane there. Xayah behind and Rakan down a level here. So we're going to have to see how they play with that advantage. I could see a roam from the Rakan trying to do a desperate play for the Grubs. Otherwise, Leona may match that as well.
Yeah, I don't see the Leona in this lane roaming very much, but we're going to see another gank. Wukong is in the top lane, condemned, as you're going to see the ultimate come out for the Zahens, and he's going to be able to get away unscathed.
Yeah, now we're just setting up a beautiful freeze for Nasus. He's going to have to thin this wave out a little bit is what he should do. And then I did see earlier, Wukong, I think he might have accidentally misclicked his ultimate because he used it on the dragon. That might have been a little bit of a defining factor for the gank top lane, but otherwise they're going to be starting the Grubs here. I don't think they have an answer for it right now as the Hen's on a back, Mundo's on the bot side doing his full clear, so looks like they're going to get the Grubs for free as well. So on the objective side, it looks like Mavericks is dominating right now.
Yeah, gonna get the Grubs, but looking at the gold lead, they are down about 800 gold, so nothing major. But obviously getting both those neutral objectives, being the Grubs and the Dragon, gonna be key later in this game as we see pushing go on. And I think that's actually huge for the Nasus to have those Grubs, because if you leave Nasus alone in the side waves, he's gonna knock down some turrets pretty doggone quick.
Oh, your towers are going to just disappear. And it looks like we have a Mundo invade on the bot side jungle as well. I don't see Wukong having an answer to this. This is only going to make the XP lead even more for the Mundo. It looks like he's level 8. Wukong's level 7 now. So we're looking to see a little bit of outscaling on the Mundo right now, especially with the Mundo.
Ultimate by the Orianna. Ultimate by the Yas. Do they have enough damage to kill? Yes, they will. Will there be a trade back? Yes, the Yasuo will fall to that last turret shot as Mal trades 1 for 1 in the mid lane.
Now we're seeing the roaming support meta coming out in full fashion. Looks like Rakan's bot lane by himself. I definitely would like to see him match that Leona. I know he is down a level, doesn't have his ultimate, but just being there as a face, especially could freeze that mid wave potentially. Wukong's going to go ahead and farm. We have a little bit of a trade on the top side as well.
Yeah, action all over the place. This Yasuo, not afraid to get into the action. That's the second time he's died to the turret, both of which were on dives, killing that Rakan bot lane. and then the Mel in the mid lane there. Not something you expect as a mid laner. Mel kind of caught off guard by that Yasuo being there. Definitely some good communications by the mid laner Star Wars saying, hey, I have ultimate. Yas, come up here, free kill. We'll combo this. And they do end up getting the Mel.
Yeah, definitely seeing some great interactions here. We do see Nas's stacks just doing a little bit of an update. It's 268 stacks. Looking for an all-in on the Zahen right now. He might kill him.
Yep, Zahen has not stacked up that passive yet, but he might have just the raw damage to kill as the Ignite does go down. But the Nasus is going to walk away. It does have that teleport up as Wukong in the bot lane does get that ultimate off. Second ult does go down. Rakan ultimate stunning him up. Under turret is Yasuo exhausted and killed as the turret shot does not kill Sniper Maid. They're going to run away from this. Mundo, who is not going to get CC'd as that passive protects. Wukong jumping back in, but is going to use the Mimic form to run away. Trying to avoid some cleavers as Mel is here and Orianna is here. The flash auto is going to kill from the Mundo as the ult kill the Mundo coming from the Mel. So in the end, I believe that is just going to be a 1-for-1 trade after everything's said and done.
Yeah, 1-for-1 trade. We got the Yasuo going down and the Wukong as an answer from the side of Void. We did see the flash ult engage from Wukong to get that kill. That wind wall from Yasuo just blocking so many of Zion's autos. Oh, and it looks like we have a kill on the top side from Nasus popping ult and Ghost.
Yep, ult and Ghost just running down the Zahens who flashed out but then couldn't go back in. As we see an ultimate from the Yasuo coming out after hitting the wind. Oh my goodness, hits it again. Zaya's just dead instantly. This Yasuo is going to be a problem as he is now 3-3-3 with a CS lead in that bot lane.
Yeah, it looks like he's going for the Kraken Slayer as well. I do think that Nasus is going to have a great time of just running down the Yasuo if he has the ability to. We do see Void on the Dragon here, so it's going to be 1-for-1. Wukong's not looking to answer, going for the top side invade. His camps are just coming up for Mundo, so you might not be able to get anything. Might go for that red anyways. He should be able to get it for free here, but Nasus stacks looking very beautiful. He had 330 stacks at 13 minutes, so that's only going to get more and more as the time goes on.
Yep. Let's just take a count. Some items are starting to come through, right? You already have the completed Seraphs for the Orianna. Mel deciding to go the Luden's Echo route. And then for the top side of Mavericks, both of them Triforce completed. Whereas the Hens falling behind is still waiting to get that his Triforce completed. So some little item discrepancies. Those are some big things that I think a lot of teams miss is these item breakpoints, right? Couple big items, especially, you know, for the mid lane. Seeing those Rabadon's death caps come through, that can be a significant difference in these late game team fights. Who does and doesn't have those kind of items?
Right, exactly. And then we see the Triforce and Lucidity boots for Nasus now, so these stacks are just going to be going up and up. I mean, I'm just looking to see this Nasus turn into a little bit of a Thanos here towards the mid to end game. We do have Wukong with the Triforce as well. Luden's Echo from Mel is definitely an interesting pick with the Zahin and the Leona and the Mundo. Not going to have that burst damage to kill them.
Yep, and I still think that call, even though it's an expensive item, might not have been the right choice. Still 48 stacks away from catching that in. In the mid lane, the Melt ult was used, but did not end up killing that Orianna, who was able to use the shield to stay alive there. Gold lead now, still only 500. Is top lane priority is switched. Okay, it is on to this Nasus. This Nasus is going to be a problem. I think he's up over 360 stacks. In fact, he's at 384.
And he's just stacking that Q. He's got about a 2.5 second Q cooldown right now, so he is just looking to Q absolutely everything.
Yeah, and we've seen one gank, but I'm surprised we haven't seen more ganks from Lost Tempo. You need to do something, right? If you just leave him on an island here, this is a champ that's going to be a problem later on in this game that you may not have the damage to go through, right? You have a Yasuo, yes, but that's a melee champion getting into the face of the Nasus. That usually doesn't go very well for
looking for a top lane gank here, but I'm not gonna lie, I could see Zahen dying here unless he stacks his passive. Nasus Q does about a 1.5 second cooldown with his ultimate up, so it looks like they're gonna get rid of that engage there.
Yeah, smart, because that had two for one, or 2v1 written all over it. And so I might have favored the Nasus in that one, but rinse and repeat. Let's try it again. The ult has already been used. No ult for the Nasus. As we're going to see the ult come in from the Hens that will end it. Perfect Vital with the kill.
That was really smart by the Mundo. Disengaged to let his ult go away, so he doesn't have that super low cooldown Q. Come back in. Nasus had pretty low mana. We had the Ignite up on Zehen and the ultimate. Now he's going to go for the Void Rift here. So should be able to get that, or the Scuttle, I should say.
Yep, that's definitely going to help progress this game. That's the biggest thing we see in these games is the good teams, the teams that are able to win these games, are the ones that are able to take advantages and press their lead, right? Whether it's turrets, neutral objectives, whatever it may be. But what can you turn a kill or two into, right? So that's definitely something to keep in mind as this series progressed. But looking at turrets right now, still no turrets taken on either side. You have a couple low, that being in the top lane. As we see the ultimate from the Ono miss, but is going to get the CC down onto this Wukong who has to flash out. Rakan gets 3 with the ultimate, 2 with the knockup, as they will die. Kev getting the Yasuo there as another kill. Kujo gonna steal that one away on half African. It's gonna be a 2-for-0 for the side of Mavericks.
Yeah, and Zehen did the teleport down a little bit too late. Now Nasus is going to push this tower, and I can see him easily getting 3 plates here.
Yep, tower in the top lane goes down, tower in the mid lane goes down, and those Void Grubs seen some action early and often as, boom, there's 2 plates, as you mentioned, for the Nasus. This Nasus is just scary, right? This Orianna, you can see, not going anywhere near. 1 QW did barely any damage as Windwall does block the Mel stun as Mel's going to get exhausted and should just die here. Yep. Kill going over to the side of Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, I'm loving the use of Yasuo's Windwalls. Definitely using the most perfect opportunities here. I am a little bit scared for this Orianna. If she pushes up any further than she can, she will just get ran down with the Nasus ultimate that is up right now. He does have Ghost as well, so I could see a dive angle possibly, but looks like she's going to clear that wave, and Nasus is going to go from top to mid here. Looking to do something with this dragon potentially, but they might be a little bit too late.
Ooh, good stun there by the Xayah, but the Rakan was a little bit short on his knockup, so nothing going to come of that play as Yasuo is covering the Zahens here. They did see him on vision, and their the third Drake of the game will go over to the side of Void.
Yeah, we're looking at a Infernal Soul here, which can be very strong for either team. Just that burst damage to add on to everything that they already have is huge. We're going to have Yasuo just farming the mid wave here. Let's see if Nasus just goes back top. If Orianna pushes anywhere... Oh, we haven't engaged volley.
We got a TP coming in. Ultimate by Rakan does not get there, and this TP is not going to come to fruition. Maybe a couple plates as the ultimate does come down from hell, but that is not going to be enough damage. Here comes the Mundo, though, trying to cover. The tower will go down, and the reflect on the cleaver. Looks like all that for just a turret.
Yeah, definitely worth getting the outer turret. They did use a lot of resources there for that. Orianna's backing the top lane. Wukong was looking for a gank. Going to go ahead and take his red as well. We have a lot of invading on both junglers here. Wukong's going to be able to get that red and blue on his side, or he might be checking it right now.
Yeah, and this is a good time actually to take a peek at the vision, right? Vision has actually been pretty good, I think, on both sides. Not very much deep vision, as we do see a Wukong in a bad spot. No way around it. Is going to sneak around using that ultimate to get away as the turret does go down to the Yasuo. But Yasuo will not survive that as Xayah gets the kill. But on the opposite side, Mundo coming through with another kill, finding the Wukong. They need to be very careful, though. This is still not a fed Nasus, but a well-stacked one at that.
That's the thing with Nasus. I mean, if you throw 2 people against him and you don't have the correct amount of CC, definitely just going to get ran down. But if you throw 4 at him, you definitely will be able to get him. Do want to see some anti-heal come out on the side of Void coming pretty soon. If not, I do see Yasuo has it, but maybe the Zehen can get an Executioner Blade as well. They were looking to set up something on the top side. Mel's just waiting to counter-engage here, but we have Leona maybe looking for some engage as well.
It's going to be a 3v3 with the Orianna trying to come make it a 4v3. African goes in, but he's going to go in too far, and he's going to get killed instantly there. That kill's going to go over to the Nasus. Nasus going to ultimate here, forcing security. The hand does go in. He is stacking that passive, but it will only be the 1 kill going to the side of Maverick.
Yeah, NASA's not able to get much out of the rest of that. We do have a lot of slow with the Mundo. We have the Zaheen knockup and the Yasuo with the armor penetration would just melt him if he continued to go. So good disengage there on the side of Mavericks. We do have Baron up. I don't think we'll see an early Baron play unless we see some sort of 4 to 5 man kill on either team. They will get that Scuttle on the top side.
Did you say that?
Oh wow, they're gonna start the Baron.
It's gonna get started. TP gonna be coming through for the Nasus, and 3 members are on bot side. There's no way they're gonna be able to contest this on the side of Void.
Yeah, I do think that Mundo going bot side here with the Baron up is a little bit of a mistake. Definitely, they have no idea that the Baron's happening right now.
Yep, are going to be pushing that mid lane via the Yasuo, and the Rift Herald is down and is going to be slammed into that mid turret, but it's not going to kill it overall, and they're going to have to back off knowing that the Baron was just completed. Wow, 21-minute Baron for the side of Maverick. What would you like to see them do here with this Baron for the next 2.5 minutes?
Yeah, I do think that we just need to see the setup for the next potential dragon. I think that we just want to see some top turret go down. Inner would be massive. Just kind of play off the back of that Nasus there. Nasus is just becoming so strong now. He's sitting at 648 stacks.
Yeah, lane allocation is going to be a big story in this game going forward, right? As we get later and later, who's going to match the Nasus? Who has TP? They do have the double TP because the Orianna decided to fake that. So that gives them a little bit more versatility and who can answer it. But last thing I want to see is this Nasus, linked up with his team in a Baron like this, where he can pull more than just one enemy champion to his direction, as you're seeing right now with the top and jungle both being on the top side.
Yeah, and I think that we're just going to see some priority on the top lane here. I think Nasus is going to continue to push. He doesn't have TP, but even if they answer with all 5 teammates at this next drag, for example, they're just going to be able to destroy this top turret. Just sending Orianna is a little bit scary against an Nasus with Baron, or he's good at wave clearing, but with Baron buff, not so much. I could see this Nasus running her down with the Ghost ult, but we will have to see how that plays out.
Yeah, and using teleport, so she will not be able to get down in time for this dragon. That is spawning in 10 seconds. Mundo in position, clearing out some vision here as Rakan gonna try for the stun, but once again, passive, not allowing that.
And it looks like Nasus, instead of continuing to push top wave, is just going to meet with his team bot lane. Unless Orianna backs right now, it looks like it's going to be a free dragon for the Mavericks.
Yeah, and this is where I think it was so key for the side of Void to get that last one, because it's going to stall this dragon stacking for the side of Maverick, who I think will have the advantage for a significant portion of this game with this Nasus providing pressure. But we'll see what they can get done, right? Now it is a 5v5 as Orianna had to come down, but it might be a little too late as Mundo just walks up. Dragon does go to the side of Maverick, but here's the fight. Ultimate's going left and right as we're going to see Maverick get the first kill, second kill, and third kill. Nasus with 2 as the revive coming in towards the Hen. Not going to help him at all as he's going to go down. Double kill for the Wukong.
Yeah, and that's just a 4-for-0 trade on the side of Mavericks, and they do get the dragon as well. So, I mean, it's looking a little rough for Void at this point. We got a 5k gold lead as well. Nasus is just becoming an unkillable monster. It should be Mundo, but, war-wise, but Nasus is the one. So, we do see Wukong invading the Void jungle as well. They're going to get that mid-inner, looking to push that bot wave as well. It's just looking a little bit rough for Void at this moment, but there could be room to do a little bit of a comeback. It looks like Mudo's going to get the knock up from Rakan and just get killed there with the Wither from Nasus. Nowhere to run.
Yeah, Wither from Nasus got rid of the passive, and then the knockup does go through, and Xayah has enough damage to finish off the Mundo. I really would like to see the base get cracked soon if you're the side of Maverick. You don't want this game going longer and longer. Anything can happen once we start seeing 4 or 5 items come through for both sides. As we saw yesterday, right? There is no Kale like there was last night. If you saw that game, it was an absolute banger of a game 3 as the Nexus was down to 1/3 health. But then the blue side got wiped and they did not follow through and win that game. So, like I said, late games can be an absolute coin flip at times. So, if you're the side of Mavericks, you want to close this one out.
Yeah, I definitely want to see them push this advantage for the Mavericks as soon as possible. We do have Baron in about 2 minutes, so we'll have to play for that. Looks like Wukong's going to go for the Scuttles. That'll set up perfect vision for them. Oriana's going to be on the bot side, but she does not have quite yet. Should be up for the Baron. Looks like they're just going to match there. Yeah, if I was Void right now, I'm just looking to see if anybody could get caught out. Looks like they're playing pretty well on the side of Maverick in terms of not letting that happen. But if I'm Void, I'm just hoping for some sort of miracle here.
Yeah, stun does come through from the Xayah onto the Mundo, but nothing comes of it. As you see a play trying to be made here in this bot lane, as Yasuo going to be hiding in the bush, covering this Oriana, but the Mel smells something fishy.
Definitely. So they think she does have vision there. She does not. I think she just has an intuition. There are 4 people missing on the bot wave, or on the map, excuse me, and they did just all show up on bot side. So his intuitions were correct. Looks like they're going to be possibly doing something on the top wave here, looking maybe to get Zahin killed, looking for his camps. Mundo might be walking into a little bit of a disaster as well, but he might just be farming that mid wave.
Yeah, they knew they had to be bot lane there because look at the vision in this top jungle for the side of Maverick. You can't go anywhere in that top jungle if you're a Void member and not be on vision, right? Leona's going to try to get in here and clear some of that out, but good setup here for the Baron that's coming down in 35 seconds.
Yeah, and if I'm Void, we could be looking for the 5v5. I don't think that they win just based off of items and champions at the moment. Unless they get some sort of beautiful engage onto Xayah or even just blow up the Nasus before he can do anything. We do have a 2-level lead on the Nasus. Nasus just looking like an absolute monster once again. They're just resetting up vision with the Rakan. They have so much CC on both sides of the team that it's just kind of any man's game in terms of if someone gets caught out and picked. But if we're looking at it statistical wise, I do think that Maverick just kind of kills off Void here.
Yep, and stat check, Nasus 820 stack, as this Baron should go down very quickly. Not even going to be contested as the Mundo does back off. Baron number 2 over to the side of the Maverick. What would you like to see them do with this Baron?
Yeah, seeing this from this Baron, I just want to see Nasus. I probably see a 4-man group with Nasus splitting, looking to get 2 people onto him. Even then, he's looking for the 2v1 angle here. He's coming to the point where he has so much healing. And we do not have any more anti-heal on the side of Void except for Yasuo, so that is definitely something they need to look at here. Nasus can easily heal about 250 health per Q, even more. So we're going to have to see something go here.
Yeah, I would like to see Maverick not instantly go for this drag, right? Use this Baron to the max of its ability, try to break open the base, and then as you're ending your siege, go back and swing and pick up this dragon. But the Death Bush is going to work. Oriana, no chance from the beginning. Let's see if they try to go for anything more. The Rakan still ulted. We're going to see a Wukong ult onto the Mundo. Wow. 3 ultimates used for the side of Maverick, as no kills are going to happen. The 2 tankiest members of Void are going to stay alive, but the Yasuo will not have that much luck. He's going to go down. It's going to be a
then here comes Nasus. Nasus just tanking the tower for free. No worries there. And they're just looking to push in mid and possibly end here.
Yep, Wukong's going to break off as the Hen does get stunned up, and he is going to be killed. That kill's going the way of Mel. As the base is open, they still have Baron. Can they end here?
Wukong looking for the gratuity dragon in the bottom lane while they just end the game. Yeah, I mean, it was a very, very strong performance from Mavericks, getting that kill on the Mundo to end it off. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful game there. Nasus is becoming the monster that he can be.
I don't know if that's him going quiet or if that's me going quiet.
Oh, that was me. Apologies.
There we go.
I was looking to Nasus to get a little bit more punish that game, but it looks like he did not. So they just basically just snowballed into oblivion there. Yasuo and Leona did get very, very, very ahead early game, but they just weren't able to capitalize off it enough. And Nash just kind of counteracted that. Zahen going 1-4 that game, but you know, he did try his best. I just think that the wave state could have been managed a little bit better. But we'll just have to see how it goes next game.
Yeah, I don't think there were any bad picks by either side. Looking at it hindsight, what I will say is there, like, and you mentioned it, there wasn't a big enough lead in the box side of the map to warrant what was going on the top side. But I will give Maverick credit. Once this Nasus started getting ahead, I think there might have been a comm saying, okay, hey, everyone else, just don't feed. And we got a pretty good chance of winning this game with this Nasus that is, this juggernaut. Last time I checked, it was over 800 stacks, probably got close to 900 as the game ended. Going in, we're going to have game 2 here shortly. What are you looking to see from Void to bounce back here in game 2?
Yeah, I'm looking to see a little bit more from Void. I do see that Kawhi Leonard is an 80 carry player, but he's very strong in the Echo, interestingly enough. It looks like he doesn't have too many stats played there. African looking like he's a Tarek player, which could definitely be something that's very interesting. Tarek very good at setting up the dives in the bot lane. We did have Hecarim banned last game. Possibly see a Kha'Zix come out from Tempo on Void. Maybe a Kane as well. Looks like it's a very strong pick for Tempo. Yeah, I think we're just it's an all man's game here. I think that they have a lot of room to set up good team comps here. Not gonna have the Nasus in this game, so that won't be an issue. But looks like Ganon as well does play Gwen as well as the jungler for Void lost tempo. So
Yeah,
definitely a
I think one
possibility.
big thing is going to be urgency for Void, right? That Mundo didn't have the early game impact that I think you wanted or I think they needed. So we'll see if that jungle pick turns into something a little bit more aggressive in the early game. But with that being said, great game 1. We're going to be getting into game 2 here shortly. With that, we're going to take a short break while we wait for them to get ready. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. We are already into picking bands for game 2 of Silversong Mavericks versus C22 Void. Game 1 did go over to the Mavericks, but game 2 could be completely different as we're going to see the band start. The Nocturne going to be banned away for the side of Mavericks. Uh, Same sides, same picks. What do you think will be different in this game, or what needs to be different in this game if we're going to see a victory here for the side of Void?
On Void side, I'm looking to see the Hecarim come out. Definitely a very strong pick for them. Their jungle loves to play Hecarim, loves to play Viego. That's definitely a possibility as well. Especially with the Kane jungle and the Gwen, all very strong champions. I know Gwen did just get a buff as well, so I'm looking to see that come out from them. It looks like the
Mhm.
Gwen player or Gwen on the side of Mavericks, the top player, plays them as well. So that's definitely something that we could see. And both junglers playing Viego, so that's definitely an option here.
Yep, we're gonna have some new bans. So that Nautilus was banned out for the side of Void. It was not banned in game 1. Game 1, you had the Brand, the Gwen, and the Viego, or the Vagar, excuse me. So we'll see which one they decide to drop there. As we're gonna see the Fiora be banned number 2 for the side of Maverick.
Yeah, Fiora definitely a strong ban here. Looks like that is one of the most played on Vital, so we'll have to see. Definitely looking possibly at another Mbessa ban, not sure. One of the strongest champs for Vital as well, so we could
Hmm.
definitely see that come from him.
We're gonna see the Melio taken out, which I actually really like. I think Melio Lucian is very, very strong, and of those two, ban the Melio because it's a little bit more versatile. You really don't see the Lucian unless it is paired with that Melio. So kind of two birds, one stone with that ban. And now we get to see which ban is changed for the side of Void. Will it? Oh wow, it's going to be two changed bans as the Vel'Koz is going to be banned. That is actually a support ban for the side of Void.
Yeah, Vel'Koz, interesting band. Definitely can be very strong in the hands of the right person, but such a mechanically demanding champion that
Mhm.
this is one of those champs. Unless there's someone that you're specifically looking to ban out,
It
would
was
not.
played in game one of the game. Excuse me, game two of this series when they met back at the end of July. So something they were familiar with. Didn't want to see it again as the Kaisa comes
Gotcha.
through for Maverick.
Kaisa, one of those hyper scaling champions, a little bit on the weaker side earlier, but you give her any leeway to get fed, and it's not looking good for the enemy team. Love that pick from Mavericks.
Yep, and you know what? The when I see Kaisa, the first thing I think of is okay, dive comp. Obviously, the Nocturne that's already banned out, but we could see the Vi. We could see Xin Zhao coming in the jungle. You know, a bunch of different things here. As the Unara will be the answer, a team fight menace, and it's going to be accompanied by the Lulu there to keep it safe in the bot lane.
Yeah, and on the side of Mavericks as a support pick, I'm looking to see probably more of an engaged support. Trying to get a snowball lead early. If you let Yunar and Lu free farm, it's going to be a little bit rough for you in the mid to end game of thing. I could definitely possibly see some sort of, I don't know, maybe a Nautilus,
Alistar
possibly, or
even
Nautilus is banned actually. Excuse me. Yeah, Alistar.
Rel.
Maybe a Thresh. Mel, Pike,
Whoa.
Seraphine look like is going to be getting picked out for Maverick. Don't mind that pick at all. Seraphine, extremely strong champion. A lot of people are playing her as AP carries bot lane as well. So a lot of
Yeah.
good engage and counter engage on that front.
Yep. There is a go button there. Still has the CC that Kaisa can play off of. Just not the typical support I think of when I think of Kaisa, right? You mentioned I think of, the Alistars, the Blitzcranks, the Pikes, those kind of
Right.
things, as we're gonna see the Rammus come through for the side of Maverick. Every ADC kind of shivered in their boots when they see the Rammus, as the Unara now has to deal with that menace in the jungle.
Yeah, and Rammus is actually he can be very strong champion. I know he was more tailored towards the armor, but giving him that buff on the magic resistance on his W as well just made him very strong. We see the Ari picked out for the mid lane here. Just looks like a comfort pick on the side of Void. Ari, very strong champion, good engage, good disengage, good ways, good tools to get out, tons of damage in the mid to end game, and just one of those champions that's just overall a good pick here.
Yeah, I think they wanted to have a little bit more prio in the early game. Obviously, that Oriana in game one got pushed out a little bit. But this Rammus, back in their last meeting, Sniper played very well. Went 3-0-7 on this Rammus the last time they played. So a lot of playmaking and urgency there um, from the previous meeting. So we'll see how it can do in meeting number two. As bands coming through, you're going to see that Gwen go away that we talked about, and the Mbessa also be banned away. As the other ones are going to be the Silas and what looks like the Malphite for the side of Maverick.
Yeah, it looks like they're just completely prioritizing, just banning out all those top lane champions here. It looks like on the side of Void, we are still looking for a jungler. We are still looking for a top laner. On the side of Maverick, we're still looking for a mid and top laner. So we'll have to see what's picked. It looks like they banned
Ooh.
the Hecarim instead of the
Yep.
Malphite last second there, and they insta locked that Malphite. So good on them.
Yep. So they maybe that was even a little subtle little tell, just saying, hey, we know you're picking the Malphite, but we do not want to give you that Hecarim. Obviously, being a little bit of a one trick for lost tempo. As we're gonna see the Galio. Wow, I can already see the dive working. The Galio coming through for the. Oh, and you know what? I got baited again. That's two times in one draft. Quickly switched over to the Mordekaiser, probably going in that top lane.
Yeah, so Mordecai's a very strong pick here. I mean, just absolutely melts Malphite. Malphite's gonna have to play more of a magic resist build here. They do have a lot of hybrid damage on the Kaisa, but at the same time, she is primarily AD. Looks like we're gonna be getting a Thresh here. Is that gonna be a
No,
Seraphine
we're
mid?
getting baited. Nope, we're getting baited. Don't fall for it. I've already fell for it twice. Um,
Oh, okay, they baited
ooh.
us. All right, so it looks like it's going to be Cho'Gath in the mid lane, possibly, and then Mordekaiser on the top lane. But like I was saying, Mordekaiser very, very good into this team comp. Doesn't give Ari much room to run. She can definitely just melt him in the mid to end game, but at the same time, Yunara is going to have a tough time, and the Lulu. So with that Rammus and the Mordekaiser just kind of running them down, being able to use that R on Mordekaiser to just isolate whatever target they want, definitely going to have to be very, very proactive with this last pick here. Looks like we're gonna get the Olaf.
Yes, I love this Olaf pick into the Mordekaiser. I've said this on broadcast previously. I think Olaf, at least on the last patch, was one of the most busted champions in this game. It brings so much pressure to that top lane. But what that means is this Malphite's actually going to go into the jungle, it looks like. Maybe I'm wrong. It might be Olaf jungle. But either way, I love seeing this Olaf. A lot of urgency. It's going to be running to that back line to Seraphine, to Kaisa. I would probably say it's going to go onto the Seraphine more than the Kaisa because the Kaisa can just ult out of that. But either way, you're going to have an Olaf running right into you.
Yeah, Olaf being able to just completely nullify that Rammus taunt, being able to nullify the Mordekaiser R, being able to nullify the Cho'Gath Q, the Seraphine R. I mean, just no CC matters to this man when he presses R. So we'll have to see how this plays out.
Yeah, I'm worried. We just need to make sure that is the damage going to be there for the side of Void to punch through these tanks, right? I'm assuming the Cho'Gath is going to go a little bit more hybrid, going to probably have some AP if it is in that mid lane, as we will see shortly as 20 seconds is coming soon. Where are things going to go? Okay, it is Malphite jungle, Olaf top, and then Cho'Gath mid, Mordekaiser top. Now that you've seen the whole draft, if you had to make a prediction, who do you think is going to take home game two?
Just gonna be honest here. Malphite jungle is a little bit on the weaker side in terms of clear. I know Rammus is definitely gonna be clearing about 10 seconds faster than him. I think it can go either way, but in terms of composition, I do think that Maverick is a little bit on the stronger side. Just having all of that CC, all of those tanks, they have tons of damage as well with the Mordekaiser, a lot of bruiser stuff going on. The Cho'Gath ultimately being able to just execute whoever they want. It's solid engage with Seraphine, Rammus. So their composition is looking very strong, but at the same time, we have a lot of counter engage on the side of Void. We have the Malphite or Malphite ult. We have the Olaf being able to just run in and delete whoever. Ari with the charm, all that disengage she has. Lulu ult as well. So I'm just gonna have to see. I think it's gonna be a little bit of a skill based matchup here, as all games always are. But I think composition wise, they both have their strengths.
Once again, no draft diff in this one, but I will say very different feeling game than game one, right? Game one, it kind of you had two sides of the coin, right? You had the Yasuo bot, which we expected to try to get aggressive early. Where on the Maverick side, you had that Nasus top, which you're just like, okay, ticking time bomb. This one's going to be an absolute menace in this game if you let it be. And Void, unfortunately, let it be a menace and it altered the game. I don't think we have that one guaranteed carry in this game, do we?
I think both Yunara and Kaisa definitely able to carry if they get ahead. Ari, if you give her any amount of room to get fed, she will just absolutely dominate a lobby. I do think that Cho'Gath is going to have a pretty decent time at denying her. I do think that once Ari hits 6, it's a little bit of a roam angle for her. I'm not going to necessarily be able to kill the Cho'Gath like that, depending on what is going on. I do want to see possibly a three camp clear on the Rammus looking into the top lane. I know Olaf is going to be very aggressive here in the early game, so we're just going to have to see how that plays out.
Yep. And as the players get ready, we're going to send it here to a quick break. Go get your drinks, get your popcorn, because we're about to have game two when we come back of Silversong Maverick versus C22 Void. You're not going to want to miss this. Welcome back, everyone, for game 2 of this playoff matchup with Silversong Mavericks versus C22 Void. As we try to intro it, and they're already fighting. So this is typical of these two teams. Let's go through who is going to be playing in this game here tonight. We have Ganon going to be wielding the Mordekaiser in the top lane. Sniper Maid on the Rammus. Kev going to be taking Shogath into the mid lane. Exile on the Kaisa, and Kujo on the Seraphine.
Yep, and then we have on the side of Void, we're gonna have Perfect Vital, or I'm sorry, this is Maverick, right? And swap teams here. We have Perfect Vital on Olaf. They're looking for an early engage, actually.
Oh, that comeback damage from the Mordekaiser hits hard.
Yeah, Ganon just being able to just pop the Q there and take that tower shot did not look good for Vital. We have lost tempo on the Malphite as well in the jungle with the electrocute. Star Wars looking for some harass in the mid lane on the Ahri. Cho'Gath already sitting at 300 health. You have Kawhi Leonard on the Nara, and then on Lulu we have Hapkin as well.
Yeah, and we were talking about this during the break. It didn't get your prediction during the draft. So here's your chance. Who do you got here, game 2 of this series?
I do think it's looking a little bit stronger for Mavericks if we're talking just end game overall of synergy here. I do think that the counter engage is looking very, very strong for the side of Void, who is actually on the red side, to clarify.
Yep.
But at the same time, I think it's anyone's game. I think it's just going to depend on who gets engaged on. If we see a Malphite R on the Kaisa and she gets deleted, it's just not going to look good for Mavericks. If we see Rammus just jumping into the Yunara, it's not going to look good for the side of Void. So just going to see how these players utilize their ultimates and abilities.
Yeah, I think Ganon in this top lane is going to be very, very important because if he doesn't have a good early game, I think they lack damages. We're going to see some damage coming through in the mid lane by Kev, but he is so can't follow through too much on that. But yeah, I do think the side of Maverick is going to lack damage without some semblance of lead from the Mordekaiser.
Exactly.
Second gank of the game coming in by Rammus. He's going to get the taunt, but there is not enough damage as the flash does come through from Star Wars. I don't know if he needed to do that. Shogath was so you weren't going to see the rupture come through. But
yeah, definitely did not need to do that. Yeah, definitely did not need to do that. Ahri was able to walk free there. Definitely good as like a safe thing to do, but Cho'Gath not having mana, his Q does cost about 100 mana, so.
As we're going to kind of get through here, and production, we do have some noise coming through in our ear if you want to try to deal with that.
What a waste.
Another gank by Rammus. That's 3 ganks in 3 minutes and 40 seconds. He's looking to get after it here early and often. That's kind of what you wanted to. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Void on the lost tempo, looking for that invade on the red. He did see that Rammus at the top clear and then just kind of did a couple ganks there. So Rammus is going to be behind. Sniper Maid just not going to be able to get his red. Walked in, where's my red? Not here. Going to probably look for the Krugs, maybe even look for a gank bot.
Yep, going to be in the bot side trying to cover their bot duo. But look at the vision from the side of Void, right? They have 4 wards down here, the 4 corners, protecting them. They're going to know if this Rammus is anywhere near their lane unless they come to the lane game. Ignite down for the side of Maverick bot lane. As Exile going to try to get some damage down. Doesn't get the kill, but Kujo using that Ignite early. They're going to have some priority now in this lane with a low Yunara.
Yeah, if I'm Yunara here, I'm just looking to stay under tower right now, wait for the wave to push in, and then just look to see what I can farm. Lulu's taking a little bit of harass as well, but if Rammus did come down, which he is not, they could look for that dive angle, but they are not going to do that. Rammus possibly looking to gank mid or top here on the Sniper Maid player. Going to put that pink ward in as well. Looking to gank on the Ahri. She is level 6.
Yeah, level 6 versus level 4. This Rammus has 24 CS at 5 minutes compared to 44 for the Malphite. So we talked about a Malphite slow clear, but up 20 CS.
Right, slow clear, but he's just been focusing on getting that level 6. So Lost Tempo doing a great job there in the jungle. Looking like Ganon's gonna be pushing in Olaf here. Perfect Vital. Yeah, that gank onto mid on the Ahri was questionable. I don't know why you would gank an Ahri that is level 6. Star Wars Void just able to not even use her ult, just E and walk out. So perfect play by Star Wars there.
Yep, and you being a jungle player, you have felt this before, where you're a jungler, you're trying to be super proactive early, get some early ganks off, and none of them work, right? What kind of feeling is it, and what are you gonna try to do next if you're sniper made here after what isn't a very good first couple games?
Yeah, so Sniper mid, I think he already knows that they're just going to have to give up first dragon, which Lost Tempo is taking right now. Lost Tempo possibly could hit 6 off that dragon there, which he does. If I'm Sniper mid, I am just looking to just get as much farm as I can now. His clear is a little bit messed up. His scrub's going to be spawning a little bit late. His blue is up. We haven't engaged on the top lane from Olaf here.
Yep, Olaf going to be coming through, not going to pop that ultimate quite yet as the shield does come through for Ganon. Nothing going to come of that, but some trade of health.
Yeah, so Rammus is clear, Sniper mid. He's looking rough on the clear. His blue's up, his Gromp nor his Wolves are up just because of the delayed clear that he had. He's going to farm the Krugs. Now he has nothing else to farm on the bot side. Just going to take that back. Still not even level 6, so it's looking really rough for Rammus right now.
Yep, and on the flip side, you have this Malphite who is level 6. Where would you be looking to go and utilize your overpowered ultimate if you are the Malphite?
Yeah, so if I'm Malphite right now, if I was Lost Tempo, I'd just be looking to clear my top side right now. Looks like Perfect Vital has Mordekaiser pretty pushed in, so I'm not going to worry about that. Does pop the ultimate in Ghost. Mordekaiser does flash, so going to be a good disengage there. Olaf does not have any more mana. Perfect Vital is going to hang out in the bush. Malphite, I'm just going to look to clear my top to bot side. Possibly look for a mid or bot engage. Hev has been pushing up pretty aggressively here. Ahri, Star Wars and the Ahri is pretty out of mana, so she's going to take that back. No TP, so it's just going to be a reset wave here. It looks like Lost Tempo did just ping the bot lane, so that could be where he's going.
Yeah, Kev also kind of looking on the bot side, gets the control ward down there as well. All right, let's take account. Gold is going to be pretty much even. CS wise, there's no crazy disadvantages or advantages. Right as I say that, I look at the bot lane CS. 27 CS lead for the Kai'Sa. I think this the Seraphine has been suffocating, as we're going to see a lane gank in the bot lane. The vision, they know it's there. Is he going to do the flash ultimate?
We'll have to see. Both players on the bot lane have flash.
What?
Kind of trolled, walked out of the bush. Not sure what was up with that. Totally fine. Just going to go back in his jungle, take his blue and Gromp. I don't know why he showed himself. If I was that Malphite,
it left me speechless.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. Maybe it was a misclick. Maybe it was, I don't know. But if I was that Malphite, I would have just ulted the Seraphine when she was clearing that bot push ward there. They're gonna get Void Grubs for free now off of that. It's looking like a little bit of a mistake made by the Void side jungler.
Yep, so not only do they see that he is bot lane, he doesn't get any kills or use his ultimate, but because of that knowledge, they're going to be getting the Void Grubs for the side of Maverick, who it's going to be a trade of early neutral objectives. Dragon going to the side of Void, Maverick picking up those grubs.
And Tempo looks like he is aware that possibly the Rammus' bot side is up. Sniper May going to be looking to invade the top side, but doesn't have anything. Going to ult on.
Good flash. Good flash there by the Kai'Sa, but the kill does still come through on the Seraphine as the ult from Lunara is enough. As we're going to see a fourth gank mid lane here by the Rammus that does not come through, but the no flash or ultimate used. I thought I saw the ultimate used. Maybe it just has a couple more charges, so it's not on cooldown. There it goes. Ultimate used there for the Ahri to stay safe, but in the end, it is a kill for the bot side of Void.
Yeah, and I think ganking the Ahri as Rammus, especially when she has the ultimate up and the flash, is just, it's a little bit disadvantaged whatever the word is. It's a little bit of a disadvantage for Ram. It's just because, I mean, you don't have much engage. You can ult behind her, but still she's just going to R away. Sniper Made looking to clear his top to bot side. If I was lost tempo when I was in that bot lane, I would have killed the Seraphine like I did and possibly looked for his bot side jungle. It's been up for about 2 minutes now. So Sniper Made just behind an XP. It's only going to get worse.
Oh, no! The kill comes through there. The flash from the Cho'Gath, from Kev, to try to get the kill. Ends up getting the knockup. Tries to go back in, but it's going to get killed before he can get that chomp through. Or the feast, I should say. That is devastating, but you can't flash into an Ahri who has charm up, can you?
No, you cannot do that. I mean, if she just used it, I mean, sure, but at the same time, Ahri just being one of the most mobile champions in the mid lane right now. Looks like we have an engage on the top side. Ganon and Vital.
Yeah.
Vital pops a ult.
Ultimate going to be popped here as Undertow keeps hitting Undertow after Undertow. As we're going to see the kill come through for Perfect Vital. He's going to get the first blood up in that top lane that we've seen so far. 1-0 for the Ola.
And Vital here is just going to go out of proportion with this Olaf. I mean, just should be able to proxy for free, should be able to get the priority of Rammus if he wants to gank. But at the same time, having that ultimate, Rammus, Sniper Made on Rammus is not going to be able to necessarily go ahead and kill him as easily.
Yep, items completed though in the mid lane here. We have a Rod of Ages for the Cho'Gath side. And then we have the Black Fire Torch for the Ahri.
And it looks like Lost Tempo is looking for a gank on the bot lane here, but I'm pretty sure Exile and Cujo are well aware that they cannot step up right now.
Yep, they don't have vision. I don't know. They must have seen him go into that alcove because they are getting nowhere near this. I think they also have the intel that their Rammus is counter jungling in the top side, so if he's not in the top side, he's got to be in the bot side. So they're going to be playing safe. This dragon is up, but doesn't look like they're going to try to go any priority, as we're going to see an ultimate popped by the Mordekaiser. Ganon trying to get the kill, not going to be able to do that. As Ghost coming in, and so is Rammus. Going to get the taunt off. Pull back by Ganon, but not enough, as the flash is going to be used by Perfect to get out of that one.
Perfect tempo from Void here, just noticing that the Rammus gank topside. Sniper Made just going to have to look to clear his top side, possibly. It's going to be the second dragon picked up for Void. I don't see Mavericks.
Oh, phenomenal charm as they jump in here. This Seraphine's going to be dead. They're going to try to get a second one onto Exile. Exile, you got to run, buddy, and he's not going to be able to run quick enough, as the Ahri going to use one of the ultimate chars to close the gap and get the kill onto Exile.
Yeah, and Void are up 5-0 right now. It's only a 1.5K gold lead, but at the same time, that could just snowball out of proportion. We still do have an XP gap on the Sniper Made Rammus and the Lost Tempo Malphite. Malphite looking really strong right now, running that electrocute. Looks like he rushed Zeke's Convergence, which isn't a bad shot at all, having that Storm that does the slow. Just going to be some added damage on for the side of Void.
Yeah, and we talked about this earlier. I was very fearful of the lack of damage from the side of Maverick, and I think we're kind of seeing that. Even though Lost Tempo in the jungle hasn't been able to really get off a great gank, pure gank, but getting off no ganks and still, staying up on farm is a lot better than trying to gank 7 times like Sniper Made and failing every single one of them.
Exactly. And if they work, they work. It looks like they are both the same level now. I do think Malphite's going to be a little bit closer to level 10 than Sniper Made. It seems as if they're just prioritizing the bot side on the side of Void here, which is very smart. Unar are going to be pushing into the mid lane. Kawhi Leonard just looking to farm what they can. Don't think they can walk up onto the Kev's Cho'Gath because they will get deleted, but
I don't know if this is a bug or is this right? Apparently there's already 7 key stacks for the side Kev. He has 7. He must have gotten one of the grubs and then 6 minions. So he is stacking very nicely on that ult.
Yeah, it looks like Kev is going to be going more of an AP build here. Does have the Null Magic Mantle, looking to possibly just negate some of that damage from Malphite and Ahri. But yeah, it's looking a little bit rough for Mavericks right now. Lost Tempo's gonna be pushing into their bot side jungle as well. It's only Krugs that are up, but at the same time, it looks like that Mavericks are just gonna be Hail Marrying onto that Rift Herald here. Let's see how that plays out.
Here comes the Ari. Ari's going to be TPing in. This is going to be a fight. It's going to be our first 5v5 as the ultimate comes through from Lost Tempo. Going to get the smite, win that fight, as we're going to see ult come from both sides. Seraphine gets ult on the 3, but the damage coming through from the side of Void as they're going to try to run away. Mavericks going to get caught, and that's 3 down for the side of Mavericks. Make it 4 as Exile, the only one left up. Starboy. He's not going to want to let him stay alive, but the ultimate comes through. Going to get polymorph. Not much you can do if you're Exile here. He's going to go down. That's going to be a full clean sweep. The ace for the side of Void.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're completely right, Pancake. Just seeing the lack of damage from Mavericks team comp. I mean, they had nothing to answer onto the side of Void. Getting the Rift Heralds as well ended up getting picked up by Malphite. That's just very strong for Void. I think we're just going to see the game come to fruition here on the side of Void. I think it's going to be a 1-1.
Yeah, definitely looking that way. But if you're a Maverick fan here, let's say you are a big fan of Silversong Maverick and you need some hopium, right? You need a little bit of hope to keep you going through watching this game. Is there anything you can see, any angle where they might be able to get back into this game? What would they need to do? Get some picks? Whatever it may be, do you see any way they have a chance to get back into this game?
Yeah, I definitely think they still have a chance to get back into this game. They have so much CC into the late game. I think if this game does go to about 30, 35 minutes, I think that they do have the tools to just be able to run down the Ari and Yunara. Having the Cho'Gath CC, having the Rammus E, having the Mordekaiser ult, definitely room for hope for them still. I just want to see the Kaisa start farming a lot more. She has been farming as much as she can, but we just need to get her scaled up as quick as possible just because she can just delete the entire enemy team. Malphite going pure tank, Olaf not, so they don't have much resist on the side of Void. At the same time, they have 2 Bramble Vests on the side of Maverick as well, so going early on the anti-heal. They're going to be pushing that Rift. Oh, we have an engaged Olaf on a Cho'Gath here.
Yep, ult by the Olaf. Undertow comes through, final auto does get down. The Cho'Gath Kev goes down. Another kill for a perfect fight.
Yeah, and if I was Mavericks, I'm just looking to turtle. I'm looking to farm as much as I can, just play waves. You might have to give up another dragon or so, but that soul coming up, we're going to have to see what dragon does end up spawning.
Yeah, I think it's going to be the...
Hextech.
Oh, it's going to be Hextech, yep. Hextech Dragon.
A Hextech Dragon, extremely strong.
We got a Death Bush. And there it is, the ultimate from the Malphite. Doesn't matter who it is. You could say the Rammus is tanky, but it doesn't look tanky going into those forests. He's going to instantly die. Sniper Maid goes down. And this is about as free of as a dragon as you're going to get.
Yeah, these death pushes are very strong when you have no vision against the side of Void. Mavericks just kind of walking in blind there and not being able to do anything about knowing that they're there. Rammus just wanting to check if the dragon is being started, but they were waiting for him, and it worked out.
Okay, and we are now on perfect game watch. And now it's not going to be a true perfect game. A top turret did go down on the Void side. Also, I do believe they did not get grubs. But we are still 12-0. They've gotten all 3 dragons. We'll see. Will Maverick get a kill?
Yeah, I think that Maverick's doing a really good job of itemization. I think that going to anti-heal against Olaf is very strong. I don't want to see them pick up any more anti-heal. They do have 3 now on Cho'Gath as well. I think just having it on both Rammus and Mordekaiser was enough. Looks like we're going to see Mavericks kind of match the top side Olaf here with Mordekaiser and Seraphine. So,
yep, and as we go further, I will say I'm really happy with the Malphite build, right? When you play Malphite, you can a lot of times fall into the greed of, hey, let me press R to win the game and one-shot them. But even as a tank, pressing R is going to win you most fights alone, as we're going to see a 2v1 in the top jungle, but we're going to see an engage here into the mid lane. The Lulu going to go down. Seraphine getting that one, and they're going to keep going, and they are going to get the bot lane. Both dead for the side of Void, but there is a trade kill. Olaf going to be taking down Ganon in the top jungle.
Yeah, it's just not looking good for Rammus right now on Sniper mid. He did get that gank mid, very good. Get that Kai'Sa online. She did get a kill there. They also got a shutdown. At the same time, he did take that blue, and he's going to be taking that Scuttle on the top side as well. No answer for Perfect Vital right now. You might just get a free tower.
Yeah, that was a really good engage by the side of Maverick. You know, able to get down that Seraphine ult. Kai'Sa jumping in on top, and the Rammus ulting in as well. Able to chain the CC and get both of those kills, really killing the Lulu before she had any chance to do anything. As you can see, still has the ultimate up, so wasn't able to get that off at all. Very well planned and executed by the side of Maverick.
Yeah, and that just kind of goes to show how the game could play out later on if you do have hope as a Maverick fan, which is still there. It's just, you know, that much CC against a champion, you're not going to live. So we're just going to have to see if they utilize that and chain it well enough so that we can just see people get deleted.
Yeah, it looks like they're setting up here for a Baron. The vision is out. There is no vision for the side of Maverick, so they're going to start this one up. Maverick is in position, Cho'Gath on the bot side, but he does not have TP to come into this fight, so how do they react? I think they're going to end up giving it, maybe try to get a pick here. Good opportunity as the flash is going to need to be used by African, but the Baron's still going to be stalled. Yes.
This is a coin flip
here. Nope, there's an ultimate. Olaf coming in over the top. Going to be the first kill over to the side of Void, but damage going back to Void. Second kill going to the side of Void as well, as we're going to see 3 kills going the way of Void. Only 1 back as the Olaf does get taken down, but this is going to be a 3-for-1 in favor of Void.
Yeah, and for Mavericks, they did get that Olaf shutdown onto Exile, which is massive. You got about 900 gold just in 800 gold, so it's going to be able to help him get up more and more. Looks like he's going to be able to complete. He has the McCracken Slayer and the Ginsu's Rage Blade, so that's very, very good for Kai'Sa. We could see Kai'Sa pop off this game. But yeah, that Baron call, I did see Rammus kind of walk in from the mid lane. He should have taken a Hextech gate. He would have been there a lot faster, but that's something to keep in mind for the future for him. Looks like he's just going to go to that bot side, clear that out. Looks like we're just going to have a 4th dragon fight here. If they don't fight for the 4th dragon and Void gets that, it's going to be very hard for Mavericks to come back.
Yeah, this is going to be the big fight, right? Dragon in 51 seconds. You do not want to give over that soul at, 24, 25 minutes. And this would buy you another 5 minutes, right? Buying you 5 minutes until that next Drake where you're going to be forced to fight. So we'll see. I like they've gotten here early as the side of Maverick. They've gotten their vision set up. They're getting the crab right there. And here comes the Death Bush. It's happened to them. Now they're going to try to do it to the side of Void.
I think they have a little bit of an idea of what's happening. Looks like they did steal that blue buff, so that's great. Just take any amount of XP and gold away. I don't know why Rammus just ulted there. Sniper made just pressing buttons to press buttons. That's fine.
Yep, and we're going to see kind of handshake where this is going to be a 4v4. They try to go around, but it's predicted by the side of Maverick. Are they going to go in? You're going to see the Terrifying all come on over the top. They're going to try to get the Lulu down, and they do get the Lulu killed. As now in the front line is this Malphite. Tank is going to be Kai'Sa. Dives into the back lane to try to get Kawhi Leonard. He's not going to quite be able to get him. Exile now going low. Going to be killed. And it's going to be a bloodbath as the ultimate comes through by the Mordekaiser to try to get him down. Cho'Gath going away with 1 HP. Going to be taken down. Mordekaiser in the back. Going to finish off Yunara here. Mordekaiser very, very strong. Can he get the shutdown onto the Ahri? Not quite. The flash comes through. Here comes a charm, and it's going to be taken down by Perfect Vital as Void scrapes by, as that's going to be a 3-for-4 in favor of Void, and they're going to have the spoils of victory, and they're going to get the Drake, which will be their 4th. It's going to be Soul.
Yeah, and I do think that was a great fight for Mavericks to take. They didn't have the 5th player there. I do think the mistake that was made was Kai'Sa ulted into the back. Exile and Olaf was just there to answer with a teleport, and I think just playing front to back there would have did them a lot more benefit, just killing off the Malphite, just making the Olaf come in and engage, and Sniper May being able to taunt or use whatever CC they have. I know we did have ultimate, so it was a little bit harder there, but Kai'Sa ulting into the back there was a little bit of a mistake.
Yeah, it was interesting because if Kawhi does go down there, I think that is a different fight. He was very, very close, but once Kai'Sa wasn't able to get that initial kill, Kawhi was able to get down a lot of great damage, and he was ulted as that Yunara, so it does splatter all that damage across multiple people. As you are not allowed to be there if you're that Rammus. Sniper, you got to get out of there. Uses the ult, try to get some distance. Here comes the team. Seraphine gonna get some stuns down, but the damage won't quite be enough as we're gonna see a fight quickly into this bot lane. Ultimate from Olaf, undertow, gonna be hitting the Cho'Gath. Nowhere to go as Axe after Axe slows down the Cho'Gath just enough for the kill to come through for a perfect vital.
Yeah, I think as Mavericks, you need to stop making the Cho'Gath match the perfect vital on the Olaf here. I mean, it's just you can just run them down. You did see that just then. Kev tried to throw out a Q, and perfect vital doesn't care about that. He's CC immune, you know. So having that Mordekaiser on Gan and just be able to just match him is something that we need here.
Yep, and I will say, still only a 5,000 gold lead. So Void has not been able. Yeah, they've not been able to push this gold lead. Now they have gotten the Dragon Soul, which is a dump of stats in its own, but haven't been able to do much else, which is weird because it still feels like they're in significant control of this game in these fights. But as we're going to see the ultimate come through for the Malphite, but he's going to be instantly ulted by the Mordekaiser. Ensuing fight coming through, knock up onto the Ahri by the Cho'Gath. He's going to get pushed back. This Yunara is free hitting and is doing a lot of damage. Ulted Olaf into the front. Nowhere you can go is the Rammus. Gonna go and run away. Exile, gonna be missing that. Star Wars just misses that Q. Exile will stay alive. 3-0 for the side of Void.
Yeah, I think we're at the point now where Mavericks have just that fight in the bot lane with that Seraphine engage was their hope and prayer there. Looks like it didn't work out, so now it looks like Void is going to push into their base, probably get that inhibitor, look to just take over the map, not let Sniper Mate get any of his jungle. That's how we're looking right now.
Yep, I'd like to see them make sure they leave wards behind. I see one there in the bottom side jungle. I'd like to see a few more, see a couple, okay. But that's a big thing, right? When you're able to push up this far, you need to make sure you're leaving vision to help you in future plays and to just get that intel that you have. Olaf, 3 members coming at him, but he's going to be able to walk away before anything major goes down. All right. Goldie now up to 7K. So 2 more 1,000 gold leads than when we last looked. Gold is being spent. 3 items done for both ADCs. 3 items done for both mid laners. Really, you're going to see this big advantage in the top lane, right? 11, 1, and 4 on the Olaf. Almost done with his 4th item, whereas Mordekaiser still stuck on 2 items.
Yeah, that's the thing. If I'm Void here, I want to end the game as soon as possible. I mean, you know, Olaf, Perfect Vital and Olaf, very, very strong character, don't get me wrong, but as the game goes on, he just gets harder to play him. Especially when that 80 carry gets online, Exile, and you know, I think the lack of damage on Mavericks might be a big mistake just because Olaf in the late game, he's so easy to just turn on and delete. But of course, just being a menace in the mid game, especially if he gets ahead. So we're gonna start.
All right, here we go. Yep, Baron is started. Mid lane is being pushed by the side of Maverick. They have decided to trade this out, right? Trying to get something in the mid lane. Don't know what Mordekaiser. What are you really hoping to accomplish here? That is 5v1. Wanted to know what you were thinking, where that was going to go.
Doing a drive-by on the street and just saying, hey, you guys want 3 gold, and gave it to him. And now that Mavericks is not going to have any answer for this fight here, they might get engaged on. They have home guards, going to hold on to the Seraphine.
Yep, Seraphine gets blown up instantly. Exile now the next target along with Kev. Kev not going to be able to run away from this Olaf as he gets slowed. Exile is going to get killed. Now this Rammus is in trouble. Ultimate to try to get out, but I don't think it's going to be quite that easy as the Ahri does ultimate in. Is he going to be able to use the blast plant? He is, but he is not going to be able to get far enough away. Q comes through just in time. I thought he was going to get away there for a second.
With that Hextech Soul, the slow is just so strong.
Yep, there we're seeing the direct impact of that Hextech Soul. And that should be game. It's just going to be tied up 1-1. And Drew, looks like we're going to be heading to a game 3.
Yeah, very surprising. I think that Mavericks just needed to get a little bit more damage onto their comp here. Malphite going to ult onto the Seraphine once again. Lost tempo, getting happy. Ganon not going to be able to do much against his team comp here. Almost deleted him.
Does get Kawhi Leonard, though, so it could stall them out a little bit. The game might not end here. We're going to see a kill onto Ganon, but there are now 2 members up. Nexus 1 shot. It is going to be killed. And there it is, 1-1, as game 2 goes the side of Void. And Wow, that was a dominant performance by the side of Void.
Yeah, Void coming out on top that game. You said it was a 2-0 last series, but definitely not this one. So yeah, we're seeing some play changes coming out of the side of Void. They're looking very strong right now.
Yeah,
I was
what do you
very
like?
impressed by that Olaf.
Yeah, what do you, oh, there you go. I was just gonna ask, what did you like from that performance by Void? Who would you say if that game was your MVP?
Oh, I think Vital's the MVP of that game, just absolutely going crazy on the Olafs, knowing when he could engage, knowing how like easily he could run down the Cho'Gath. I do think that putting Kev against Perfect Vital was a little bit of a mistake. They had Kev on the
Mhm.
Cho'Gath matching him most of that mid game there, and that's just not a good idea. I mean, Cho'Gath has nothing to answer Olaf with. He's just going to run him down, which happened about 3 times. So
Well, we have now casted, or at least I have, two Scuttle matches in this playoff, and both of them have gone to a game three. So you know what we're gonna do? We might not even take a break here. I think we're gonna try to get right into draft here, real quick. At production, if you want to say we are ready to go. But Drew, Maverick, what do you think they need to do to bounce back from what was a dominating defeat?
I think Maverick just needs to draft a little bit more damage here. I did love how much CC they have, but the team composition that they had was very, very weak early game. Definitely stronger into the mid late game. Kind of relying on that Mordekaiser to get super strong, which did not happen. So their damage was just very lacking. I need to see a little bit more damage come out of them. A little bit more well rounded team composition, kind of like Void had.
Yeah, and also think personally they need to have either mid or top have a little bit more damage, right? We saw the Mel in game one be used very, very well. Um, and it just felt uh, like Kev didn't have the same ability to be urgent with his plays, right? They tried to gank for him early. That was, I think, the big misstep in the early game was Sniper getting a little too far behind, which obviously affected how he was going to impact the map for the rest of the game. As I'm hearing, we are getting into draft, so bans are going to get started in right now. It looks like Void is going to be on the red side again, Maverick on the blue side. As first ban stays the same, we're going to go with. Actually, no, it's different. It was the Nautilus last time for Void. This time, it's going to go back to the brand, just like it was in game one.
Yeah, they're looking to get that brand out of the game. I think they're just trying to deny Mavericks from even getting that, which is very good. Just kind of just delete the strong players characters there. We see the Nocturne ban come out once again. First thing, I'm looking to see possibly another Mbessa ban, Gwen ban, or played this game for the top laners.
Yeah, you know what I love is game threes. Pressure is always amplified, especially in the playoffs. I like teams when they're able to get their players onto comfort picks they know
Right.
they can play, know they can be useful in. And so that's like you said, the Mbessa, the Hecarim, those kind of champions. I wouldn't mind seeing those, uh, maybe even first and second pick, right? Get your top laner on somebody that has some urgency, some mobility, and get your jungle on somebody that can impact the map quickly.
Yeah, and I do think maybe a Viego pick will come out as well for the comfort. I could definitely see that coming out for either side jungler. They both do play a lot of Viego. Hecarim going to be banned as well once again.
Good ban.
So they do not want to deal with that Hecarim. Hecarim can just absolutely dominate a game, especially in my solo queue games. A strong Hecarim is very scary.
Yeah, I love Hecarim. I think he's very frustrating to play against, like you said. As we see the Poppy ban rounding out the last ban for Void. That usually tells me, well, first of all, I do know Ganon plays that Poppy top lane, so that is a top lane ban. But it also tells me they might want to pick some champions with some heavy mobility, dashes, things like that, that Poppy definitely neutralizes. As we await the final ban for the side of Mavericks, is there any champion that's still out there that you think is can be a power pick this
I
late in
was
the
gonna
series?
say Syndra, and they just banned her. I think Victor is very strong still. They have not
Mhm.
played the Victor. They didn't see anybody necessarily on their team that does play Victor. Otherwise, I think that having Viego can be very strong depending on the team comp. Vi looking like a solid choice. Looks like they're gonna pick up Invest on the side of Void, which champion is very, very, very strong. Tons of shields. just might see a Serpent's Fang come out of whatever top laner they decide to pick. Otherwise, I could see maybe a Lee Sin if anybody plays that. Shyvana still up and open. Silas being a very strong pick for mid or jungle as well.
Yep, and so the Nautilus is open, the Vel'Koz is open for Maverick, was not open last game. Those were some bans, so I really think Nautilus is a very strong support right now. It has urgency in the lane, it has urgency when roaming, which is actually something I don't think we've seen a whole lot of from the supports in this game is the roam factor, so definitely focusing a little bit more on the lane dominance rather than the map pressure.
Yeah, we're gonna see Sante picked out as an answer. We saw the Teemo being hovered, but Sante, one of those champions that you just build full armor, full magic resist, full health, and you do tons of damage, as Freak would say back in the day. So definitely love to see that pick. It's gonna be weak early, but that's not a problem. Used to be a Sante main back in the day, one of my favorite champions. He's been really good, really bad, and now I think he's in a pretty decent spot. So we're gonna see Jinx as well picked up for the Mavericks and
Yep, we're
Vi
gonna
being
see.
hovered.
Yep, the hyper carry Jinx coming through the side of Maverick. But then this Vi, I love these first two picks for the side of Void. A lot of mobility, right? Able to, especially in the top lane. If you want to kill this Cassante is going to have a tough time running away
Right.
from you. So, good little top jungle duo there. I would love to see a strong support picked with this Vi, but instead, no, we're going to go straight into the mid lane. The Aurora going to be picked up for the side of Star Wars Boy. What do you think of this Aurora in the mid lane?
I think blind picking Aurora is very scary. There's a lot of champions that just shut her down. She's one of those champions that she does her little bit of burst damage and then she just doesn't do much until she has her cooldowns up again, like most mages. Um, I've only played Aurora a couple of times. She is very interesting. I know she's very hard to play well, so hopefully Void can do that. Gonna be picking Malzahar and Mavericks here. Malzahar just super safe lane pick, easy to farm, very good engage with his R, as well as just tons of pressure and priority there. So I think it's going to be an interesting lane matchup in the mid lane here.
Yep, going to be answered by the Malzahar. That point and click ultimate stun is a huge tool in the arsenal for Maverick. As you see round two bans, we're going to see that Nautilus taken away from the side of Void. Ooh, and there's the Tark. They hovered it a little bit on the Maverick side. Probably thought about taking it, but it's going to be taken away from Cujo. They don't want it in his hands. Tark going to be banned.
Yeah, so they don't want the Silversong Mavericks to get Tarek, which is very interesting because if I'm not mistaken, I saw that was African's support that he normally plays. I don't
Yep,
see much Tarek on Cujo, so
they
very
must have some
interesting
intel
there.
there, right? Or you know what that just tells me? If you look at the champs, there's a lot of dive coming out the side of Void. The thing
Right.
that really stinks is dive is all of a sudden a Tark ult comes down and you have to wait after you've already used all your tools to dive onto a champion before trying to kill them. So I can see why they took that away. And then the Braum gonna be taken away as well. So double support ban, whereas the Callista on the other side gonna be taken away from Void.
They're thinking about a Yumi, which would be
No,
very
that's a
interesting. I
hover.
don't think that's a good pick here. Swain, not bad at all. Very good disengage, very good just doing sustained damage, getting the Rylai's with his ultimate. I'm gonna see if that's what he picks. It looks like they're getting the Viego.
Yeah, Viego, we've seen a lot of good performances in the archives as of late on this Viego. As the answer, oh my goodness, the insta lock
Well,
Zeri
maybe they
Yumi
should have picked
lane.
Yumi.
Oh my goodness, this is gonna be a fun one. Zeri obviously wanting to speed around the lane. Yumi gonna be attached for most of that. Not a lot of roam pressure out of the Yumi, so Vi gonna have to be doing a lot of the work on her own. What will Silversong Maverick round out this comp with? They need a support. Who do you think they're gonna go with? Oh, the Pike. The Pike is the end up decision. Wow, this is some aggression out of the bot side of Silver Song Maverick. The Viego, the Pike, the Jinx, the Malzahar. They want to get after it early and often. Pike into the Yumi Zeri should be an interesting lane. Now that we've seen the picks, though, what do you think? Who do you draft you like more?
Honestly, it's looking like a pretty even draft once again. I do think that the Malzahar is a little bit stronger than the Aurora coming into the early mid game. I know Aurora does a lot of burst damage if she gets fed and or does some good roaming. Vi looking like a really strong pick here. I could see an invade coming out from the Vi, possibly with the Aurora being able to jump over walls and do all of her sneaky stuff. Malzahar is more of a stay put in lane type of character. Um, yeah, I think it's looking pretty even here. I do think that bot lane has a big disadvantage at the moment. The Zeri and the Yumi are definitely gonna have to play very safe. Vi's probably gonna have to prio that lane as well. Once Pike and Jinx at level 3, it's looking a little rough for the Yumi Zeri.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I think this Maverick side they want to do a little bit more traditional front to back team fights with the Casante and the Jinx. But then you have this Pike Viego that they can go in at any moment, right? And with this Pike pick, I definitely want to see Cujo roaming with it. You can't just stay in lane. Part of the advantage of the Pike is being able to maneuver quickly through the river. So what do you think this Pike should be doing to make sure he's impacting the game properly in this early mid game?
Yeah, I think with the support nerfs, not getting as much XP out of lane level 1 to 3, I think Pike is going to want to hang out. Maybe look for an early engage level 1 with his hook,
Hmm.
possibly blow the mid or top laner's flash. It's definitely a possibility. Otherwise, I think that they just want to play for the bot bush and just kind of get level 3 on the Pike, roam out a little bit. Jinx should be able to farm relatively free. I do think leaving her alone in the lane with Zeri Yumi can be scary, just with the Yumi having that super long range Q. So. Yeah, it's going to be just play it by ear type of situation. I think the Pike is possibly just going to look for early drag, early grubs. With the scaling that they have, I think that the mid lane is favored towards the Malzahar. Aurora pre 6, but once Malzahar hits level 6, I think Malzahar just kind of it's a little bit favored towards him.
Yeah, I think early dragons in this one is going to be important for both sides. You don't want to have the other one start stacking these earlies and have that 25-minute Dragon Soul like we saw in game two. But yeah, a lot of great tools for both sides, right? The Kasante, even though that he is a tank, he can do a lot of damage. What are you looking forward to seeing in this top lane matchup, the Mbessa versus the Kasante?
I think that it's just going to be a skill-based matchup. Kesanta is one of those champions where you can just lock him in, but you can't play him well, if that makes sense. Same thing with the Mbessa, very strong kid, but at the same time, you can't just lock her in and play well. I do think it's going to be a little bit of a skill-based matchup. I think once Kesante hits level 6, it might be a little bit scary for the Mbessa. I presume she's just going to rush Eclipse here, give her a little bit of lethality towards the Kesante building, probably full armor for the most part. That's another thing that we have to look at here. Their only source necessarily of big AP damage is from Aurora. I know Zeri's passive gives her a little bit of AP damage, but they have a little bit more of just 80 heavy comps on both teams. Malzahar, the only mage on the side of Mavericks as well. Um, the only thing that I'm noticing is that Vi cannot tank as well as Kesante. So if it gets later into the game, Kesante just builds full armor, maybe a Jack show for the Aurora. He's going to be a little bit unstoppable.
Yeah, the only thing I'm a little worried about with this Void side is the lack of range across the board, right? Aurora doesn't have anything crazy. Zeri not known for her range ability. But this should be a fun one, everyone. So we have game three coming to you here shortly for Silversong Maverick versus C22 Void. Don't go anywhere. And welcome back, everyone, for the rubber match. Game 3 of Silversong Mavericks for C22 Void. Two phenomenal games, game 1 and 2, but it all comes down to this. Doesn't matter what happened in game 1 or 2. My co-caster, Drew, what are you looking forward to in game 3?
I'm definitely looking for this Pike to just abuse his roaming potential. Yumi, not much of a roamer, of course, having to get into someone's body there. They're going to do an early engage here. Pike letting his Q charge run out, so he's going to get harassed for that.
Yep, some early damage going down. Let's go through these lanes a little bit. Blue side, you're going to have Spider-Man. Is that a new player in the top lane?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, okay, we may have had a sub come in. Not sure. We can have production kind of look into that for us. But Spider-Man in the top lane going to be running this Cassante. Sniper Maid bringing the Viego out. Kev running the Malzahar. Exile on the Jinx. And Cujo, as we talked about, onto that Pike into the bot lane.
Yeah, we're going to have Perfect Vital on the Mbessa playing here, getting harassed a little bit, but looks like got a better of the trades. We have Lost Tempo clearing their top side, finishing Raptors on Vi. We got Star Wars just trading a little bit with the Malzahar. Looks like they're just getting chunked out a little bit on the Aurora. Kawhi Leonard and Haffican in the bot lane. Kawhi on 80 carry Zeri and Haffican on Yumi.
Yep, Drew. What is your prediction as we go into the third and final game here? Who do you think has the advantage, or who do you like to bring this one home?
So I do think, just off team call, I think Mavericks has a little bit of an advantage just with the Cassante just not having much magic damage besides the Aurora on the side of Void. But at the same time, Void, they have that Zeri, they have that Yumi. Zeri just becomes an unstoppable powerhouse with the Yumi in the late game. So I think mid game, it's looking like on the side of Mavericks. Late game, it's definitely looking like on the side of Void.
Yeah, something I will say though, I think in game 3s where the pressure is amplified, ease of execution matters, right? And I think you have a little bit more of a standard style team comp from the side of Mavericks, whereas you have this intense dive comp kind of coming out for the side of Void. So they're going to need to communicate well, as there is the hook back onto the Vi, as you see the Pike link up with the Viego. And there it is. First blood over to the Viego.
Yeah, beautiful use of flash from Cujo. He was confident in his play. He said, hey, we just had the Vi flash. Follow up with me. Viego not even having to flash. Still has that up. Looking like they're going to engage on the bot lane, too. Void very overextended.
Yep, as we're going to see an all-in and a gank from the side of Viego. Viego going to get the stun off as the Yumi's just going to bail. Yumi realized that was a losing fight as kill does go over to Exile, which is a big first kill. They're going to try to get this Yumi. They are going to get the Yumi down as the Viego wielding the Zeri clone is going to get that kill.
Yeah, and Exile and the Jinx did not run away fast enough. Got that minion damage. That minion damage can be scary if you tank it early game.
Yeah, I missed that. Jinx does get killed, so counter kill coming through for the Yumi. But we did see a big CS difference there in the bot lane, so that was a key neutralizing kill for the side of Mavericks. As we're going to see some fighting continue into this top lane, as Spider-Man looking like he's going to have to get the heck out of there on low health, low mana, and take an early back.
That's the thing about Cassante and Bessa. I mean, you can take trades early, but they have to be very short trades. These long, sustained trades that I've been seeing are not going to be in benefit of Cassante. And Bessa not having mana, having those shields, just kind of playing off her cooldowns. Cassante with the low cooldown Q in his passive, but at the same time, we need to get some item online for him before he can do anything.
Another gank by this Viego. Flash stun onto the Mbessa, but will he have the damage before Mbessa can just walk it out? Another Q is going to land, but no, not enough damage for the side of Mavericks top side. Something I didn't notice is Cassante had already backed and TP'd.
Yep.
So if they want to recall again, that was a huge, huge gank to kind of shift the pressure of that lane. Hopefully helps Cassante get a better back off.
Exactly. And then Perfect Vital not even having to use their flash. Cassante still has her flash as well, but definitely a good gank just to kind of force Mbessa off of the wave, let Kaysante get a decent back, which
Oh.
almost just got canceled. That would have been very scary. Lost tempo going to gank the bot lane from behind right now on ward.
Oh, misses the Q. Not much going to come of that. Once that Q misses, there's just too much mobility on the side of Maverick to get out of that one. You saw the E being used by Cujo to kind of get back into position. Nothing comes of it.
Oh, and I am seeing in the chat, Mr. Monstar, we are having a little bit of freezing on the stream.
Perfect. We have production for that. You guys in chat, blame Monstar. It's always his fault. It's either that or Nemo. One of the two is always a really
fixed.
good. That perfect. Love it. Still blame Nemo. Probably deserves it. Did you see those power rankings at all by chance? Drew?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah. Those very questionable. Some wonder if he was sober while doing them, but you know, that's just me. That's just hearsay. I'm just the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. As any game, let's look at some CS numbers. So still a CS discrepancy into the bot lane, but everywhere else going to be pretty normal. You know, maybe 10 here or there, but nothing major. As we do just start seeing some items and some builds coming through on both sides.
Yeah, and we did see Void just get the free dragon there. No trades there. Kaysante going to engage Spider-Man on the top lane. Could be a lot of damage coming out. Viego coming to back him up as well. Sniper made both flashes used.
Yep, all in, double flash. As the ultimate's going to come through, the public execution going to get it. Perfect Vital out for now, but as the Q comes through, I don't know if the damage is going to be there. Vi fails the Q over the wall. Oh, that's a killer. Could have been a trade back as Aurora was moving up, but Vi does not charge that up enough to get through that wall. And is just going to act like nothing happened, and he's going to go take another jungle camp.
That's the trade-off of getting that dragon. Tempo not able to hit 6 there, so if he queued over that wall and did the ult as well, that would have been massive for them.
Good hook by Pike, though, there. Going to get some great damage down as Exile is going to get a couple rockets onto the bot lane of Void. Pike doing Pike things, getting an early roam and a kill onto Vi, hitting these hooks in the bot lane. Feels like a very frustrating lane to play for Kawhi.
Yeah, right. And then we're seeing mid lane. Kev and Star Wars was kind of at a passive standstill here. Kev is up on CS, which is typical of a Malzahar having that execution on their E. But yeah, if I'm Aurora here, I'm just looking to harass as much as I can. Star Wars looking to do that now, but looking to get ganked by Sniper mid. Gets the flash
ult. Yep, flash ult in the stun by Viego. Going to be a free kill. Press R to win the game. That's how Malzahar is played. That's how it is executed there by the side of Maverick.
And Vital denying some creeps off of Spider-Man right now, looking to try and get a freeze on the wave. The wave state is favored towards Spider-Man just a little bit, but Spider-Man just making it a little bit worse, hitting the minions. I think he should just let that push into him. Doing these long trades with Vital is not going to go well, especially this early.
Yeah, and Drew, if you erased all my knowledge of League of Legends before this point, right, or before this last 2 weeks, and all I watched was the archives and took away my opinions from that, I would think Viego is the most broken champion in this whole game because it seems
100%.
all he does is carry, right, in these games. As we're going to see a 3-man gank on the perfect Vital in his top lane. Stun comes through. Ultimates come through. Viego doesn't get the execute. It's actually the Pike ultimate that gets the execute there. Good kill. Good roam by the side of Maverick.
Yeah, and Cujo just doing what he's doing. It's just roaming, as we mentioned before. Jinx having a little bit of trouble down the bot lane. Exile, but kind of keeping up with the creeps. Only 8 CS difference, which is really good considering that Pike's been roaming just now. Spider-Man is low mana, gonna try and push this wave in. Lost Tempo is gonna let him.
Yep. And you know what? We talked about this a little bit after game 2, right? And for people who have seen me on cast here previously, this is not the first time I've said this, but I love watching how teams react, right? When you get knocked in the mouth, how do you get backed up, right? And it looks like Mavericks are getting back up quite nicely, right? 5-1, 2K gold lead early. How can you turn this into valuable assets, right? Whether it's neutral objectives, whether it's these turrets, you need to make sure you're progressing the game. As we're going to see an all-in by the Zeri. Ultimate used by both Zeri and Yuumi. Not going to come to anything as we're going to see the flash used quickly by Exile. And the Pike coming down to protect that being Cujo.
Yeah, we did miss, but Sniper Mate did get all 3 grubs on the side of Mavericks earlier. Looks like Perfect Vital is still going to trade with Spider-Man. Spider-Man looking for the all-in possible, losing that trade right now.
Ooh, interesting ultimate. That's going to get some lane pressure there. I don't think it's going to kill, but the flash is used by Star Wars Boy. That's a good tool to track if you're the side of Maverick, as we're going to see another gank and a 3v3 in the bot lane. Nothing's going to come of it as both sides decide to walk away.
I'm wondering if Lost Tempo had his Q up, because in that situation, Viego being out of position like that definitely could have counter-engaged onto the side of Mavericks, the ult as well from Vi, but I think they're just going to play a stalemate there. Still having the constant trades on the top lane, Spider-Man and Vital. It looks like Spider-Man's trying to get this wave pushed in.
Yep, Dragon's going to be up as Viego is going to go for another gank in the bot lane. Oh, that's a tower dive. That's a bold move, especially as Dragon's going up. He's going to have to use his ultimate as the Vi does come through. Maybe going to try to look for some counter gates as the flash is used by Vi. Flash ultimate onto the Viego. Going to try to get the kill, uses the E, but does get exhausted there temporarily. Zeri coming through, not enough damage to get anything killed, but that is 3 low members for the side as we're going to see a flash ultimate by the Zeri who gets instantly turned on and killed. And then the Vi is going to get killed as well. It's going to be a 3 for nothing on the side of Mavericks as they're going to get all 3 clean sweep in the bot side.
Yeah, and they have the right idea. Void,
I'm going to stop you right there. There's an ultimate there by the Mbessa, but going to be neutralized by the ultimate of Spider-Man in the top lane. Nothing's going to come of it. But yeah, the bot side. Clean sweep there for the side of Maverick. How does that impact this bot side of the map going forward?
Yeah, so they had the right idea. Void going for that dive with the Vi, flashing in a little bit late on the end gauge, kind of by herself, especially with the exhaust coming out from Jinx. Pretty good pick so far, but at this point, we have Jinx going back, probably going to complete their item now. Still down 10 CS, but that does not matter. Going to complete the Yintal Wild Arrows. Interesting item name. Newer item that I do not see picked as much on Champions. But at the same time, yeah, I mean, at this point, Pyke just has free ability to roam, just kind of do what he wants to do, look for these neutral objectives. Lost Tempo going to kind of stay in the top side, clear that out. But yeah, Pyke's just going to be a little bit of a menace this game, just being able to go where he pleases, as Mundo would say.
Yeah, I'm terrified right now if I'm the side of Void. Just seeing in my dreams this this Viego and this Pyke roaming everywhere. As you're going to see the Pyke roam. Tower's going to go down, which is he misses the ult, but still gets the kill on the Q for Cujo. Cujo, nice play, nice roam, and nice kill. They're linking up with Kev to kill Star Wars Boy.
Man, and Spider-Man's doing a good job. Hasn't died to the Mbessa at all, even doing these long-form trades, and he's getting to the point now where he is going to be able to just dominate this Mbessa, especially since she does not have an advantage. Has the Eclipse, but it doesn't matter too much. Should just be able to run her down eventually here. Kate Sante being one of those champions, full armor, full health, full magic with this, and you do a ton of damage.
Did you just see the Malzahar? Malzahar would be such an annoying champion. Just
oh yeah,
E after E after E, and there's nothing you can do. And then Q comes over the top to refresh that timer on the E. So a gank attempt here in the top lane. Do get the third Q off by Spider-Man, but nothing comes of it as Sniper Mate going to go back down and is actually going to recall, but stops the recall to come top as you do see some semblance of an all-in. As a flash comes through, the public execution going to help Perfect Vital get back into position. He's going to go back in, does get the kill, 2v1. We're going to see a gank in the bot lane. Cujo going to be jumped on as the ultimate does go down from the Vi. Cujo, what are you going to be able to get out? Yumi ult does stop him. As we're still fighting up top, Perfect Vital did get the kill, but is he going to be able to get out? Spider-Man chasing him down. Going to have the crab for some speed up, and that's going to be the kill on Perfect Vital. Spider-Man, it's a trade kill. 1 for 1 in the top lane.
And it's looking at mid lane, 1E from Malzahar. Kev on Malzahar just did about 350, 400 health in Star Wars Boy. So looking pretty rough there. Aurora very behind right now.
Yeah, that's a problem. Right, and especially as the Aurora, who wants to jump in and do trades, you can't just jump in and do a trade against this Malzahar. I mean, oh my gosh.
Yeah, half health already.
Yeah, that feels bad. So, I think this Vi needs to be pressuring this mid lane. Look how far pushed up the Malzahar is. Obviously has good vision on the bot side jungle to protect them, so covering on that side. As we're going to see the Herald started up by the side of Mavericks.
Yeah, Rift Herald should just be free here. Pike doing what he can to just keep everyone zoned out. Kujo getting some deep wards in there. They know exactly where Vi is at. Probably going to set the next dragon as well. Might be an engage looking perfect, but I'm going to back off there. Does not want to get nether grass by Malzahar. Good idea.
Kujo,
Spider-Man
right
get a
place,
TP
right
bomb.
time.
Yep, perfect.
Now, taking account everything going on right now, so Grubs, like we said, is on the side of Maverick, which is very helpful, especially when you're the team that is ahead. They're going to be up about 3,500 gold, 4,500 gold, something like that. It's a pretty significant lead, especially for 16 minutes into the game. Items-wise, we look, second items have not come through for anyone. Actually, first item not through for the top side as he decided to get that Ramble Vest early. Gonna keep that piece as he builds towards Deadman Plate, I believe is what that's gonna be. Not 100% sure. As first items are all complete for the side of Void.
Exactly. In case all, there's continuously building that armor, or that armor and health. I mean, just doing a decent amount of damage to this Investa here. I think she knows that she cannot fight Caesante at this point. Caesante is becoming that monster that he's known as in pro play. You're going to see Kev go bot lane against this Aurora now. They're just going to kind of get out of the mid lane here. Going to give bot to mid, which is typical in most of these games. If I'm Aurora, if I'm Star Wars right now, I am scared for my life. I cannot trade with the Malzahar. If I go into the Malzahar, I'm just going to die.
Vi looking to come onto this Malzahar, but does not get the Q, and here comes the reinforcement. The flash stun from the Pike does not actually kill, goes over to the ultimate of the Viego. But Vi, I think you should have seen the rest of Maverick coming behind you downriver as really wants to kill. Oh, wow. Great ultimate there by the Investa, going to end up getting killed onto the Malzahar. As a flash out from Sphinx, felt a little pressure there. This should lead into a dragon for the side of Void.
Yeah, the public execution and cease and desist from Investa and Vi, leading the Kev on Malzahar, had no chance of living there.
So, dragon number 2 for this side as Void, as long as they do pick this up. This will be a Mountain Soul, so a little bit more shielding for whoever can get that. And you know what? A little stabilization, hopefully, for the side of Void as they show us that, hey, it's not over quite yet.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, Void definitely has room to get back into this game. It's going to be a little difficult with the inner tower mid going down and the top prior here, but I think it's still definitely possible. A lot of damage on the side of Void. We can't forget. Oh,
good ultimate there by the Caesante. Still able to get out with the buy. Flash. Oh, and a little deep by the Viego. Getting a little greedy there as we're going to see the damage come back through. The Aurora gets some good damage down, and now the chase is on. Can they be caught? Aurora trying to chase down this buy. Perfect Vital. As the TP's going to come through for the Malzahar. What do you do now? Are you able to fight this as the reinforcements are coming through for both sides? Traps go out. Do not set as the ult or the flash ultimate by the Aurora are going to get this shut down onto the Jinx. And the Yumi ult over the top going to kill the Malzahar. And now Caesante, the only one left, stuck in the alcove. Inevitable death coming from the Spider-Man himself as he goes down in the top alcove. 4, or I believe it was a 4 for none on the side of Void.
Yeah, that is correct. They're coming right back to this game. The gold lead is dwindling down, still about 3K, but at the same time, I mean, they're going to get this top outer turret, all these plates. They could set up for Baron here, having all this free roam to just place vision down. Looks like Sniper Mage is going to go for his blue top clear here. A little interesting teleport by Star Wars Boy on the Aurora in the bot lane. I do think that he should have saved that for the Baron setup. Now greedy. He is going to have to, yeah, a little bit greedy trying to get that tower, but I don't even know if he'll be able to get it with the Malzahar coming to match now.
Yep, and do another check on the items. So the Jinx does finish the Hurricane there, the second item, and the Viego finishing the Collector. Viego, a lot of damage, but doesn't matter how much damage you do. If you go too deep under a turret, you're going to get punished like we saw in that last fight. We're going to see Herald spawned in this mid lane by Viego, but into 3 members, so this probably won't even get a charge off. Really going to be a useless Herald. Not ideal for the side of Maverick, as maybe we might see a little bit of the pressure getting to Sniper Mage there.
Yeah, and Kev actually taking a decent amount of damage from the Aurora trade on Star Wars, but they're looking to set up Baron right now. This might be a little bit sketchy. I'm trying to get the public execution off of Perfect Vital, but they do not have the health nor damage for this.
Yep, Yumi ult going to be used kind of as a disengage or a foreseen Maverick to disengage, but they're not disengaging. They're going to go fly out onto the Jinx, instantly killed, and then now there's this Cassante on the wrong side of things. Going to have to keep running. He's actually leading them right into their teammate. Teammate says, yeah, no, I'm not trying to save you, bud. You're going to die anyway. Spider-Man is going to go down while Leonard picks up his second kill of the match.
Yeah, and Tempo having that Black Cleaver is going to be massive for Cassante. He did build Unending Despair, which, you know, does a good amount of sustained damage, but at the same time, it's not too tanky as of yet. Only one item in. Did buy the Bramble Vest for Mbessa. Mbessa not having too much healing.
Kev, you can't be there. Yep, gonna have to flash out as the three members are here now for the side of Maverick. As we're gonna see an alt hook onto the Vi, and Vi is gonna go down quite quickly there. A little bit of a mistake. Vi lost tempo, as not only did he die, but they lost the tempo, and now the Baron's gonna be started up by the side of Maverick. Three members here, only two are gonna be damaging it. Do they have the damage? Exile coming through. Here's your carry right there. This is going to be drained down quickly, and it's going to be given over by the side of Void Maverick with a 22-minute Baron.
Looking at that Malzahar, I thought it was hilarious. He was sitting in the corner of the blue buff, like, do I need to? Oh, I'm flashing. He just flashed over the wall.
We've all been there. We've all been there. I don't want to use my flash for this. Do I need to use my flash for this? I need to use my flash for this, right? We've all been there, done that. You never want to use it like that, but ends up getting a good ultimate there, and then the hook from Pike pulls him over the wall. Easy kill onto the Vi, and leads to an easy Baron for the side of Maverick.
Yeah, looks like they're setting up for Dragon now. Looks like Star Wars War is going to be pushing in to get the vision with Yumi. Unable to roam by herself, is easily deletable, no flash. Not going to be able to kill that Rift either, showing all types of vision. They are setting up a little bit of a death push here. Almost one-shot the Cujo. Just gets out.
Yeah. Aurora does have the burst damage, and that's going to need to be a back there for Cujo. Oof. Again, we're going to see the ultimate. Vi gets the ultimate down. Aurora trying to get the follow-up damage, but the ultimate couldn't come down on Aurora. It's going to get Mikhail's. Oh, it's going to be a one-for-one trade early. Diego with the kill onto Aurora, as we're going to see ultimates used. Hawaii free hitting there on the Zeri. Going to get the kill on to Spider-Man. It's going to be a 3-for-1 favoring Void.
Yeah, we're getting to a scary spot for Mavericks right now. I mean, Mbessa just being extremely strong now. Vi having that free engage with her Q and ultimate. Now we have Zeri Yumi, which we all know is a very, very strong late game combination. So we're just going to have to see how that plays out. But if they don't have an answer for this Zeri Yumi, it's going to be very, very, very hard for Mavericks to do anything.
Yep, and as we see here, we're now hitting the 24th minute mark. 3 dragons for the side of Void. This has 40-minute game written all over it. Back and forth. Obviously, big early lead by Maverick, but Void has fought its way back. And now we look at the gold. It's a 900 gold difference. So this game could go a little bit longer than we first expected with the early lead.
Yeah, we had about a 4,500 gold lead on the side of Mavericks, which is nothing now. I mean, Mavericks is looking like they need to make some plays here. We do see Mbessa by themselves, Perfect Vital in the top lane. Looks like Cujo's going to go roam up to meet whatever happens there. Yeah, but at the same time, it's just looking very rough for Mavericks now. Exile is still able to do a ton of damage on the Jinx, but I mean, Zeri's sitting on the same exact amount of items, even more items now, so.
Yep, a little fight as we're going to see the ultimate come in onto the Viego. Do they have the follow-up damage? Derry getting a lot of damage down there as Lost Tempo is going to get the kill onto the Viego. Exile running for his life. Cujo trying to get away on this Pike. No follow-up from the side of Maverick as they're going to need to tuck tail and run away back to their turrets as another kill going over to the side of Void.
We're just doing a great job on capitalizing on their advantages right now. Just sending everyone they can to kill whoever's out of position. Kev doing a good job of not pushing up too far. There is no one on the bot side, but he does not have TP advantage over the Aurora. Aurora does have TP up. Aurora getting to that point where they do a lot of burst damage. So some of these squishy characters like Pike, like Jinx, Malzahar, Viego even, able to get one shot by her, so that's going to be something to look for in the later stages of the game.
Yeah, and to be honest, I don't know why Sniper Maid was there. Right? Are you fighting over Raptors? Is that really what you're doing 25 minutes into a game?
A little bit greedy.
Yeah, very much so greedy. As we're gonna see the public execution come in onto Exile, and boom, he's gonna get destroyed right away by the side of Void. That's gonna go to Kawhi, I believe. I didn't see who ended up getting that kill. But great public execution there by Perfect Vital.
Yeah, Lost Tempo getting their blue buffs still, just kind of free farming the jungle here while they're being capitalized on everything else. Pike not gonna be able to do much here. Pulling in that Zeri, might go for an engage.
Interesting ult there by Zeri. Not going to get much as Spider-Man's going to walk away from Perfect Vital. This is what I will give a credit for Void. In their one win, they're very good at, once they got an advantage, pressing it and getting turrets, getting objectives, getting deep vision down, those kind of things. Whereas Maverick has struggled a little bit more when they were ahead to press their advantage, right? And so we're seeing that now as we're going to see an ultimate come through onto Sniper Mate again. He's going to see the Vi ult in his dreams tonight, as that's another kill coming through. That one going to the Mbessa.
Yeah, we're setting up Soul Point here. I mean, we're looking at, if I'm not mistaken, a Mountain Soul, which is going to be really, really tough for Mavericks to deal with. Just so much resist coming out, and the shield.
Interesting situation here. So, minute on the Baron, minute 41 on the Dragon, right? So, if you're on the side of Void, which one are you prioritizing? Are you going to try to get the Baron on spawn and then rotate, or are you going to just send it all to try to get this soul? Oh,
I'll be honest, oh, Sante, please.
That was actually a little bit of a troll by the Yuumi, using the Q way too early. Letting Cassante know, hey, there are people in this bush. There might be a trade kill here. Ultimate by the Malzahar, gonna get the GA proc onto the Vi. What can follow up here is we're gonna see the stun misses. It's mistimed, but the kill still is gonna come through on the last tempo as Cujo mistimed his stun with Pike, but does not matter as Lost Tempo does go down. A little greedy there for the side of Void.
Yeah, that was beautiful counter engage by the Malzahar, using the Nether Grass to just keep that Vi locked in place, just making it impossible now. Baron's coming up very soon, and Drag. We have 28 seconds on the Vi to respawn. If I am Void, I'm looking to prioritize the Mountain Soul just because of how strong it is. Probably one of being the top 3 most strong soul, but at the same time, giving Baron away to Maverick would not be ideal. So, kind of like a pick and choose situation here.
Always say go for the permanent buff, right? So Baron is temporary, Elder Soul is for the rest of the game. A great Yuumi Q there to sniff that out, but the ultimate still comes through. Yuumi gonna try to save him, but that's not gonna be enough. Zeri goes down as, oh my gosh, that damage from Mbessa. Or not Mbessa, excuse me, Aurora. That was nuts, just instantly popped Exile there, and that's a 1-for-1 trade on ADCs.
Yeah, Perfect Vital going for Spider-Man here, pretty much out-trading him. Bessa just extremely strong, a whole level lead, has a very strong gold lead as well, 600 gold bounty on her, so it's not even that much of an answer right now. I've been engaged bot.
The Bone Skewer there by the Pike, gonna lead to a kill onto Aurora, and then to a second kill onto the Vi. Oh no, what bad timing, as they're going to prevent the Dragon Soul from coming through for the side of Void. They're going to get that Dragon, and they're going to slow down the stacking from Void. Perfect Vital, Superman, a little bit of a wet noodle fight up here. Not much damage going either way. But now are they looking to go to Baron? There's pings onto the Mbessa. They might try to get the kill first and then move on to the Baron, but are they going to have this Bone Skewer hit? No, not quite. But do they have the follow-up? A lot of movement speed as the Malzahar ult does come out. Follow up from the rest of the team as the kill is going to go the way of Sniper Maid, and this should lead to a Baron.
Yeah, Kev using that Nether Grass on cooldown, doing a perfect job of utilizing what that character's made for. Just lock down a champion, blow everything up on him, and kill him. Now they're going to get Baron, and this game's turning right around once again. This is any man's game right now.
Back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. What else can you ask for a game 3? This is awesome viewing experience. As, okay, time to reset. 3,000 gold lead for the size of Maverick. Big items are coming through for both sides. You're seeing the Rylai's coming through for Malzahar, which is a nice item to increase those slows. I think probably going to be working on a Shadow Flame for her next item. IE coming through for both ADCs. So the ADC damage is there, but both of them have been getting blown up before they can really get much damage down in these fights.
And one of the issues that Void is going to have for the late game is that Malzahar, Zeri does not have that long of an auto attack range compared to Jinx with her Q. So being able to get damage off while not just getting instantly deleted by Nethergrass is going to be a little bit difficult for Void.
Yep, you're going to have to continue to have perfect public executions, but there's going to be no public execution here. As 3 players going to descend onto Perfect Vital, and he's going to go down. That's a 54-second death timer. That's a long death timer, and look at this attack speed. But coming out from the Jinx, oh my goodness, these towers are going to be melted through. See what Barry can do to try to prevent this.
Yeah, Exile using that passive to just be able to melt that inner tower top lane. We do have Spider-Man mashing the Aurora. I do not think Aurora has enough damage to deal with the K'Sante. That's one thing Abeth's good at, is doing sustained damage. But K'Sante just being able to run over basically anyone else on this team in a 1v1.
Yeah, Jack Show's coming through really prevents these Aurora from doing much damage. Against any other squishy, Aurora can pretty much one-shot most of them. Maybe minus the Malzahar with the spell shield up.
Exactly.
One Q is like 30% of Aurora's health right there. This Malzahar hurts.
Yeah, Malzahar hurts. They do get 2 inhibitors for the side of Mavericks, so that's going to be tough for them to deal with the next dragon coming up. The only one being up is spot lane now. It's going to give them tons of priority to be able to get that for free, but we'll have to see how that plays out. Super minions are pushing in now. Vi looking to see what she can grab off the map. None of her top is up, so she's just kind of roaming around now. But we have Sniper Maid with a full jungle up right now.
Yeah, I think Sniper Maid obviously tried to take away as much as he can from the enemy camps, and now is collecting his own camps, as we should see a little bit of a lull. We still have a minute 45 left until that dragon, 3:30 left until the next Baron. So going to be a lot of farming, a lot of trying to control this top and mid wave if you're the side of Void, not letting those crash into your base.
Seeing now, we have Kev by himself on the top lane. Vi and Ibessa there. Vi not really noticing the opportunity there. Looking for a back now. It definitely could have been a kill.
Yep, 4 items completed for the Viego. Got the IE to come through. This Viego hurts a lot. So, but let's see how the siege is. Oh, good hook, but there is a GA on this Vi looking to go in, possibly looking for a cease and desist, but not going to be able to find it. And we go back to farm.
Yeah, it's looked really strong for the side of Mavericks here. They have so much pressure. Lost Tempo's not going to be able to get much of their jungle at this point, being pushed in so much. So it's looking like a free farm for Sniper Mid, especially having the IE, like you said. He does a lot of damage. He probably has around 70-75% crit at this moment. So I mean, one combo from Viego is going to delete pretty much anybody except Vi and Ibessa. And you got a Nethergrass mid.
Yep, good flash actually by Perfect Vital. Too deep there for Sniper Maid, as again, going to get caught. Here comes the cease and desist from the Vi. Does have the GA, so able to go full deep, trying to get onto Exile. No follow-up so far, but Vi Leonard is going to get into the back lane, but it's going to get ulted by the Pike and go down. Aurora get the kill onto the Malzahar. Malzahar does get Aurora trade back. And then, oh my goodness, that's a clean sweep for the side of Mavericks. Are they going to be able to end this game? It's going to be Spider-Man and Cujo trying to end this game versus Perfect Vital. Perfect Vital did not go down. It is not a clean sweep. It's a 4-for-3 favoring Mavericks.
Yeah, I do think it was a beautiful counter engage from the side of Void, killing that Viego, but that's what they should have just asked for and gave it away. Now they're not going to be able to get the dragon. I mean, if they had that advantage over the Viego being dead, that would be a very hard dragon for Mavericks to fight. But going a little too deep on the Vi, trying to get too much and letting the chew off a little bit too much than they can handle, and it's just, now that's the consequence. They have 4 dead, and they might even just be able to get the dragon anyways without the jumper, so...
Yeah, I was going to say there's TP, but there's no wards anywhere. Look at the vision, how much it's pushed up by the side of Mavericks. I love to see this. Love to see this. 3 control wards on the bad side. They're not going to be able to get anywhere close. And we're going to be tied up 3-3 in Dragons here as we hit the 35-minute mark.
Man, if you look at the vision score difference, there's almost a 50 vision score difference on Pike.
Oh my God.
That's one of Yumi's weaknesses, is that unfortunately she can't roam around much by herself. So the only forward opportunity she has is where her AD carry or whoever she's attached to goes. So 50 vision score difference is a massive, massive difference for a support.
Yeah, and then I was about to say, if you're the side of Void, what do you need to try to do to try to win one of these fights? But we've seen it twice now, right? Sniper Maid, yes, you're very strong, but you can't go into 4 members of Void and think you're gonna survive, especially without that GA. We do see the Steel Sigil come through, so probably working towards that GA at this point. But until you have it, you gotta be a little safer.
Yeah, this is the hype game going on back and forth, back and forth. I mean, I could not ask for a better game 3 right now. This is amazing.
Yeah, 36
set up
minutes
a
in,
death
3-3. Yep, 3-3 in Dragons. Death push set up, but there is a vision on the Baron they don't know about. They didn't properly sweep out that Baron. And so there's no need to face check this. Vi, there's no point to face check this. They're not on it. Thank you. Oh my goodness. I just saw visions of it. And now they are on it. Okay, you have vision of this. How do you
Here
react?
comes the
right?
coin flip.
Yeah, are you going to try to steal it or are you going to try to go for the fight? It's already down to 6,000 HP. Lost tempo is right on that Baron pit. They're going to get off it. They don't want to coin flip it. I think that's the right decision when you have this lead that's now 6,000 gold. No reason to take a coin flip.
Yeah, very smart by Mavericks to not just go in and just, you know, they thought they had no vision on the Baron, but knowing that Vi did not walk into that bush kind of gave them a little bit of a mystery going on. Why is she not walking in? We could be doing Baron. So I think they made the smart play and backing off there. They are still setting up for the priority or doing another death bush. Gonna see what they can get.
Still haven't cleared the ward though, so they know they're not on it. As they start up, they'll know. Aurora is far away. This Baron is going to get burned real quick with this Jinx. Vi now in position. There is a control where that spots are out. They're going to back off again. They're going to try to engage. Maverick, rinse and repeat. Start Baron, push them in, try to start a fight, but they haven't been able to do the last part. And that's start the fight properly. They're just kind of yo-yoing. And I actually think this favors a little bit the side of Void.
I completely agree with you. I think Malzahar is looking for that Nethergrass one, whoever he can get it on, but he's not able to find anyone. They're doing a really good job at positioning well here. I think they know that all the marbles are on the table, so they just don't want to lose neither team, which is great to see.
And GA almost back up for this 5. If you just wait a little bit longer, it's about to come off cooldown here. All ultimates are up. The only flash that is not up before the side of Void is going to be on the Abessa. Same thing for the other side. Is here's the fight. The ultimate comes down, but the counter damage doesn't quite kill. As Viego gets 2 kills, Vi gets a trade kill, 3rd kill coming through for the Viego. Quadra kill for the Viego as they're going to try to hunt down as public execution comes down. Exile does go down. Wow, perfect Vital. Getting a lot of damage down. Have a chance to see a Pental, or is he going to get the trade kill? I don't know. Perfect Vital. Actually doing a decent amount of damage. There's
Kill
the
for the Viego.
and there's the Penta kill for a Sniper Maid. It doesn't matter if you made mistakes earlier. Get a Pentakill and run it down mid as your team is going to take game 3 and going to stay undefeated in these playoffs and go to the winner bracket final, I believe. As unfortunately, Void going to be sent down into the loser's bracket. 1 loss. But GG, well done for Maverick.
Yeah, both these teams played their absolute heart out. It was really both sides. One side an advantage, the other side of the advantage. They were just doing a great job, just going back and forth. But at the end of the day, Mavericks takes it, moving on to winners. Like you said, I mean, they just had a great performance. I was very impressed by Spider-Man being subbed in last game as well.
Yeah, and you know what? This is a game that Maverick, you had to have some mental strength. They came out hot. They had a great early lead, and then they gave it all up. Right? It was almost identically close, or identical in gold lead, I should say. They're at about 20-25 minutes, but they regrouped. They gathered their thoughts. They didn't make the ultimate throw. Viego tried at one point, but eventually Sniper Maid getting the pentakill, leading to the victory. Can't get much better than that, can it?
Yeah, that's got to be a good feeling for Sniper Maid right there. Getting that pentakill right at the end of the game. Definitely going to put him up in the bracket there. Impressive performance by both teams. Void did a great job game 2 of capitalizing on everything they had, and then they tried to do it game 3, but Zeri was just not able to get online fast enough.
Yeah, and so Mavericks. What this means is they're going to move on. They're going to play the winner of TSG Prime or Scylla. And for Void, they're going to be put down in the loser bracket. They're going to play the let me see here, loser of 4. So they're going to play Shadow Isle down in the loser bracket. So we're starting to see these playoffs progress nicely, but Mavericks, God, what 2 wins they had today. 2 dominating wins, but Void made it tough for them, didn't he?
Yeah, Void did not let go. I mean, that was almost a second game on their side. It could have been anyone's game in that game 3. They were both playing their hearts out, and I mean, we had some good counter engages from both sides. We had that Malzahar just did an amazing job. If I had to give an MVP to this game, I would say we're going to give it to Kev. Just his out Malzahar and nether grasp engages were just turning points for those fights, and I think that he just did an amazing job. Sniper made with that penta at the end. Mavericks just kind of not dominating that last game, but they showed a performance towards the end of there.
Yeah, and I did get note. So TSG Prime did win that other series. So winners final is going to be Maverick versus TSG Prime. Best thing about that, Drew, best of 5. So your champion pool is going to be stretched even more. And then we're going to have an inter-org loser bracket game, C22 versus C22, Shadow Isle versus Void in that loser round 1 match. So not out of it, but just on a thinner leash there for the side of Void. Any final thoughts for you, Drew?
I just think that both these teams played very well. I was very impressed by how they were playing. Mistakes on both sides, but we're not perfect. I do think that Mavericks just ended up capitalizing on their advantages a little bit more. They were very behind at the end of that last game, but then they just pulled it back together, which is great to see. I'm excited to see them both play in their next games.
Yeah, awesome. And from both me and Drew, to everyone out there who watched today, we want to say thank you. Thank you to all the follows. Thank you to any subs out there. And thank you for tuning in. This was an absolute phenomenal series. Make sure you tune in. I believe we will have games even tomorrow. So make sure to stay tuned for more action here at the archive. If you have ever wonder when the next games are, please go to, let me make sure, thearchiveslull.com to get all your info on archive matches going forward, because you're not going to want to miss this. These playoffs have been phenomenal from the start. But with that said, thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great rest of your night, everyone.
Thank you guys. Have a great night, everybody.